as the umpire holds the ball off to start this round 4 encounter. The bounce favoured Hoy, if anything. Does get the tuck down, but it's straight towards Dowling. He's got the first centre clearance for Adelaide. Sends him up and towards the half-forward line. Punch comes in over the top. Zeckerley at the fall of the ball now for North Adelaide. Just has to try and navigate his way carefully through the situation. Pokes it back in towards the Hoy direction. A little bit too hot for him, but North Adelaide have got the numbers mopping up now through Spina, who goes out long, out towards that outer side. McInerney is just cruising up towards that 50, has a long look at things to Lockyer Jr., who flirted with playing on, but wisely decided to go back and take his shot.
What a great bit of play from North Adelaide there, Chris. I think they've signalled their intention early. Exactly, he missed Hoy coming inside, but first look straight away wanted to go in the corridor. Quick to give the ball into Spina. They want run and carry. They want speed on the ball today.
Number 5 in the league for goal kicking, Nigel Lockyer Jr., and he'll move up a place with that one. Gets the first conversion for North Adelaide inside the first 45 seconds here at Prospect. North Adelaide 1 straight 6. Adelaide yet to score. Who supports community footy in SA? Amy does, with North Adelaide's first.
It's going to be exciting, isn't it, Chris, if we see that sort of speed on the ball. We know how potent Alex Spina is, the captain here at North Adelaide, but we just saw wanting to get involved, gets that running straight up the corridor as well. McInerney could have almost pinned the ears back and had a shot, but when you've got Lockyer one out, he's got such speed and versatility, able to get out the back. He's on Bond at the moment. That could be a really good matchup. I saw last week Bond on Luke Reynolds, and he probably struggled a bit. The athleticism, the speed. I'd be curious to see how they go today.
Deceptively tall, Nigel Lockyer Jr., 6'1" in the old skull. Perfect bounce there by the umpire. Hoy taps it down and gets a secondary tap. Mays just farms it out towards Week, who gets the centre clearance for North Adelaide. They go out towards this longish half forward. Cutting it off there nicely was Ryan. That's going to be still hugging the boundary line. Did the tap come in? Yes, it did. So it's a throw in, centre wing, grandstand side.
You love that by your skipper for Adelaide, Jack Madgen there. He had Wig in front. He had the 2-on-1. He was against his direct opponent in Frengel. Enough to force a stoppage here, Chris. Give them a throw-in on the wing. Looking
forward to seeing Frengel too. He's just crept nicely onto the scene in his 10th SANFL game. Strawn, tap down straight to Murphy. Sends Adelaide up towards centre half. This is set up for Spina for the intercept. Thought about going backwards to Van Heusted, but chips it straight into the middle here of Prospect Oval. They get the run and carry again. McInerney busy early, goes back towards Spina, who sends him up towards half forward. Just nudged out of the contest initially there. North Adelaide trying to work it back in. We just danced his way out of one tackle, almost out of the second. Arriving now is Grubb. Goes on hands and knees, Gallagher. Now it's Curtin. Just put the hands out, got the hands free for the handball towards the side. He's looking out there for Murphy. Spina working again at the fall of the ball. Sends North Adelaide up and towards a more attacking position. Did Finlay take that in the line of play? No, he did not. So Curtin will just chip to go backwards. We now spots up Clifford. He's got the switch going out towards the outer side. Ends up now in that direction with Butts. So 30 out from his defensive goal. Just looks to lay it further down the lines. Picked up there by Dowling, taking it in front of Zeckerley. That'd be a match race you'd love to see on Stall Gift Day. Dowling just pokes it forward. Gets the receive coming through. And Adelaide up towards half forward. Hoy's just going to go for the punch. Strawn. He's been wrapped up in a tackle straight away. Ball still bobbling around in there. It's going to be a ball up. Right in front of your broadcast position of Chris Kendall and Jack Hanneth.
A couple of those ins you called just before, Chris. Obviously Clifford and Jordan Butts as well coming back in, like we said. Two strengths linking up early in this one.
Strawn gets the tap forward. It's into the path there of Taylor. If he can keep it in, not quite managed to do so. Throw in.
Taylor last week, Chris, as we said, even though they went down heavily to Glenelg in the end, he was really good. 20 disposals, had the 9 clearances. I thought he was one of the shining lights, along with Dowling, for that Adelaide side.
Umpires don't mind Taylor either. Hasn't conceded a free in his last 4 matches. Throw in. Strawn. Tap down straight into the aforementioned Taylor's path. Comes back now in towards Ryan. Dispossessed free, and advantage has now been paid. Schoenberg thought about going back in board. No, he showed a fair bit of that to the North Adelaide defence. And taking it here, going sideways, is Magor, who chips up towards Wig. He had a couple of options breaking for him too, towards that centre wing. McInerney, he started well. Calling players to come to him. Murphy puts out the don't argue. There does McInerney. Comes in board now towards Coombe, the Magarey medalist. He's going to get 25 as well. Strong just creeping over the mark. So Coombe getting on towards that penetrating left foot. Sends it up towards the danger zone. Ball comes out now for Nigel Lockyer Jr. Adelaide's defence under siege there at the moment. Strong tackle. Is that going to be a free? Umpire's pondering it, but letting it go. No, it is going to be a free. Tackle just a little bit too hard, it's fair to say, down there on Bond, who works it forward. Curtin in front of the Cricket Club takes it. 55 out for his defensive goal. North 1 straight 6, Adelaide yet to score. I'm just working it back inboard, but it's now taken by Edwards. They're chipping it around a fair bit without moving it forward with enormous purpose. This is giving North Adelaide plenty of time to inch numbers back. Curtin is racking up the Supercoach points, if nothing else. Brings it back inboard, back to Edwards.
Well set up at the moment, aren't they, North Adelaide? Just to the right of screen, setting up a really nice zone, even though they've penetrated there, Adelaide, to get through.
They found a slight mismatch there with Taylor on the larger man. Comes back inboard, Dowling, back towards Taylor. 60 metres out, closes by hand over the top. He was searching speculatively for Murphy. Ball's back into a disputed situation. Spina pulled the kick at the last minute towards McInerney. Now going past his Ripstra, who sends North Adelaide out towards a longish half forward. Butts and Harvey going at it. The former takes it, spins back inboard by hand. Sets it up. Oh, a little bit vicious there for Clifford. Ball is going to be held up. That's going to be a ball up.
Speaking of those key forwards, I know we mentioned Ramsey in the broadcast just before the match, Chris, but Mitch Harvey last week had the 4 goals as well against Sturt. He was super.
Was able to play that key forward role permanently, which was an enormous boost for him, it's fair to say. That's a long speculative kick all the way from Fellows, and Butts will take it out of bounds on the full. So Butts has been among it early. Keeps Adelaide again towards the outer side. Plenty flying for it. Strawn trying to claim it. Ball comes spinning out towards Taylor, working off half back. Chips over the top. Now they've got the runners starting to move. It's a one-on-one contest in the attacking 50. Trying to work back there is Murray. Van Husted gets to try and work it forward. Now it's towards Zekeli. Free's been picked out. It's going to be a free back as disposal was progressing from Van Husted.
Jacob Surgeon would love seeing that, Chris. A big one-on-one win early for a key defender. Murray and Van Husted had the 50 to themselves, but he did enough to prevail.
Toby Murray goalless in his last 2 matches, 4-4 for the season. Punch over the top there from Strawn. Straight into the lap there of Hilda. Hoy, the unlikely rover, does manage to keep it in. It's going to be a pure one-on-one contest out there. Free and advantage has been paid. Now it's going to be to Wisman. Works it over the top. They're just looking to run and gun at the moment, North Adelaide. Up towards the 50 to Hana. He's been spun around on a tackle. Good work there from Ramsey to bring it back to situation neutral. 55 out from the North goal.
Not afraid to put speed on the ball at the moment, North Adelaide. We can see they're taking a lot of opportunity, Chris, to get it going. Surge it in their forward half.
Ball still just bobbling around in dispute. Murphy picked his way carefully through the situation. Taylor needs to get rid of it and does. Going to get it back now is Murphy from Dowling. Works again out towards the outer side. Hilda just leading up in the race against Burgess. Can go back. Oh, he's got Magor. Minavini, they've got the exit now, North Adelaide. Van Husted should be next in line. No, he pulls it further down the line towards Harrison Wigg. So Wigg, it's a worm-burning pass cutting back in towards the centre where it's well picked up by Elbro. Up towards the top of the 50. Now it's with Reichstra. Ripstra should stay. Works it in towards the attack. He was waiting for Ramsey to come to him. He eventually presented, picked his way through the gaps, and will now be lining up 40 out. Very
nice there by Kelsey Ripstra. Chris, only in his second match. He debuted last week in their outstanding win against Sturt. Kicked the one major as well in that game, but it's great when you see a young player there. The presence of mind. He was on the 50. He can easily get caught up in the moment. Did enough to lower his eyes, and he picked out that key forward. And Kenan Ramsey coming through on a strong lead. Very quick. He's hard to stop when he's outstretched like that. Very gettable shot here for North.
1 goal 2 for the season for Kenan Ramsey. Make that 1 goal 3 as it hangs out towards the right for a minor score. 1-1-7. Ball has spent a fair bit of time at that end of the ground too, and Adelaide yet to trouble the scorers. So they work it back in now, the Crows, through Clifford. Clifford's bringing it towards the Schoenberg direction. Did get the punch down, but at the fall of the ball was Wigg. Sends North Adelaide up in towards attack. Gee, they had options just queuing up for it there. That was really clever work from Mitch Ramsey, looking just to corral Curtin, and in doing so, it's going to be now lining up is Carl Finlay, a very unlikely goal kicker, looking for his 7th at SANFL level.
Saw then Adelaide bringing the ball back into the play. The defence obviously spread for the kick-in, but they were a little bit slow to reset, and Finlay was just sitting in the open there, about 30 metres out, nearly directly in front. very gettable shot.
Just working that back very nicely, and North Adelaide out to a 13-point lead at the 10-minute mark of the first term here on SANFL now. Round 4 Host Plus action. Adelaide still yet to trouble the scorers, and their forward 50 entries so far have been fairly shallow, Jack.
They have, haven't they? And just having a look at the moment, it's 5 inside 50s to 3 to North Adelaide. Like you said, Adelaide, when they've gone forward, they've only just sort of broken the 50, whereas North, we touched on, they're getting a lot of speed on the footy. They're looking to give that overlap hands, get that run going through the middle, and they've found some really nice options, some deeper options, some shots from 30, 35 metres out. Ramsey unable to execute on his. Finlay doesn't make the same mistake, kicks a beautiful goal. North Adelaide second.
Central's out to an early lead at X-Convenience Oval by 19 points. I understand that a number of Eagles players were late withdrawals there with illness. It's manifesting on the scoreboard so far. And it's South Adelaide by the narrowest possible margin at Richmond at present against West Adelaide. Strawn, decisive tap forward, straight to the lap thereof at Dowling. Working forward now. Again is Schoenberg for Adelaide. Pops it up towards half forward. Leading out in the race for the ball now is Hilda. He's going to get it back now, Schoenberg. Just deposits North Adelaide up and towards the 25-metre arc. Wasn't able to quite work it back there. Going on hands and knees now is Daniele. They're trying to call it back in. But it's going to be a free to North Adelaide. Now it's with Frengel, who goes sideways to Hilda. And they're just working it through hands now up to Zeckerly at half-back. He can chip over the top, or he's got Mays working into space. So Sam Mays, second in the league for handballs. Plays it down the line by kick, wise decision. Works it straight into the path now of Elbro, who's trying to work it over the top by hand. Did that free kick linker? Umpire said yes. And Elbro from just outside 50. He's only kicked 2 goals in his last 9 matches. Don't think he'll be scoring from there, you wouldn't think, but he just works into the pocket. It was just a half foot too short for Ramsey. Tahana's been spun into a world of trouble. Ball up. 25 out from the North Adelaide goal.
It's great work by Ramsey there, Chris. It was when the free kick was given, got back to the square to work with Lockyer, came on a searching lead, just unable to take the mark.
Strawn. Tahana. Kick's been well smothered. North Adelaide still trying to keep the ball alive. McInerney was just cruising through looking for the receiver. It is still in play at the moment. They're under siege at the moment, the Adelaide defence, and they're happy to knock it over for a minus score. 2-2-14. Adelaide still yet to score.
I think unfortunately for Mitch Harvey, Chris, that smother might have been with his face as well, because he looks to be a little bit of discomfort staying out there though, but never good to wear one early in a match.
No, absolutely. It's even worse in the commentary box, and that happens as well as any one person I can blame in that case. As North Adelaide look to bring it out towards this grandstand side. Jaden Davis just didn't really disguise that push too well. And Magor to relieve, brings it into the centre. Mays, he's got options queuing up for him. Where does he start? Goes out towards that outer side. Van Husted chipping over the top. Now Wigg, you think, would win this speed battle against O'Leary. Wigg puts North Adelaide again in towards attack. Tahana just working through, taking the defensive march. They've showed a fair bit of it here to the Roosters. Hilda twisting, turning, goes back inboard by hand towards Zeckerly, and they worked it in beautifully to Harvey. Adelaide just caught it 6s and 7s, rushing their decision-making and present Harvey with an easy shot.
It's been a little bit of the difference, hasn't it, early, Chris? Just some of that disposal efficiency, that kicking efficiency. We saw the Crows then. Tahana in a difficult spot, but maybe trying to bite off a little bit too much with the kick coming out of half-back. Deep down the back, finds it around half-back, turnover. Zeckerly, very nicely done. We sung his praises earlier. Really grown as a footballer in these last couple of years, finding Mitch Harvey inside. 8
goals straight for the season. If you want a man to kick for your life at the moment, he's it. And fortunately, my life is worth kicking for at the moment. 3 goals to 20 North Adelaide, doing all the attacking at present. Adelaide still yet to score.
What a super finish there by Mitch Harvey. Chris, as you called, that was arrow straight. We were right behind it. We had a perfect spot. Beautiful run in. Excellent kick, as we said before. He copped that knock when he went to smother it, got a bit of the falcon, but didn't affect his vision at all there. He was extremely straight, very nicely done there by North. Don't they look the goods at the moment, Chris? You wouldn't expect that they'd drop the first 2 games of the season in the fashion that they had. As we mentioned a number of times, obviously that win last week, it's probably given them maybe just almost a little bit of confidence back again as well, and you feel that you are competent. You've still got a lot of good players, and Wigg, he's really showing up today. Spooner at the moment, Coombe, they're really getting going. They've been all over Adelaide early.
Yeah, Adelaide You sense that when there's a number of ins and outs the way it is, it'll take them that half a quarter or so to settle. Murray having a run now in the ruck. But North Adelaide, again, the centre clearance now through Wig out towards Zeckerly, who does get a kind bounce. Try to tap it forward to the advantage there of Fellows, but that allowed Adelaide back in towards the contest. Hilda just getting the nudge in over Madgen. Does he take the mark? No, he did not. Blaine O'Loughlin arriving as the support, however, and deposits it straight onto the chest of Magor at halfback. He looks to bring it back in board. Now Magor getting it back into 1-2. Plays it up towards centre half-back. Mays. A man breaking into space there on the outer side. In doing so, they allowed Burgess into the contest. Wasn't able to quite get the clear purchase on it. Wig arriving as the cavalry. Just pokes it down the line. He was looking for McInerney, but arriving now is Ryan. Works it over the top now by hand. Comes it back now in a 1-2, does Ryan. Davis in there also for Adelaide. This chain of handballs, it was fraught with danger. Have to be very precise with that. O'Leary got the exit handball. Adelaide is going to set it straight up for O'Loughlin. They're just blazing it forward at the moment, Adelaide. Mind you, that wasn't much better from O'Loughlin as he's put it back into a disputed situation, allowing Adelaide into the contest. Wisman trying to find a sideways option. Picked it out now towards Burgess. Now he's got a raking foot on him. He's going to look up there, see nothing in the square, go for a long shot, but knocking it through there will be Hilda for Adelaide's first score of the contest. They are one behind. North Adelaide 3-2-20.
Does have a raking kick, Chris, but I don't love the option. 3 North Adelaide players deep. He really had to hit it perfectly if it was going to go, and we see Hilda getting back enough to affect a spoil, get it for a behind. Adelaide just losing a bit of shape forward of the footy. North are putting so much pressure on early that they're all getting high. Nothing really deep to kick to at the moment.
Magor trying to work through Edwards. He's been well tackled by Ramsey. Ball's back in dispute. Shoveling on forward hands and knees, Mays, Coombe. Now they're able to work it away from the stoppage, North Adelaide, into the Harvey direction, the centre of Prospect Oval. Goes on the hands and knees, tried to just shovel it forward. Adelaide have got numbers here working forward. Edwards just tried to put it up towards centre half forward. Now it's just going to come bobbling out in towards the Gallagher direction. Just needs to steady, bend it back. That is magnificent. That is a fantastic finish from Carl Gallagher. Deserves a much better response than that from the Prospect crowd. 1-1-7, Adelaide, North Adelaide 3-2-20.
I reckon if you're the Adelaide Crows players, you're going to be getting around Daniel Curtin at the moment, Chris. He was super just then in the middle of the ground. Was right up behind Harvey, did enough to affect a spoil, stayed involved in the play, and we saw him then link up. He was the one who then gave the hand to Gallagher, and what an excellent finish. Beautiful kick. Saw him kick a miracle, very similar, but a little bit more in the pocket down at South Adelaide, Carl Gallagher. It's almost like he likes him deeper and wider than he does straight in front. I've seen him miss a couple straight in front. Maybe the luck of the Irish, Chris.
I wouldn't know. I missed when I was straight in front back in my day. So I used to hope for a hell of a breeze back playing in country footy. But anyway, back in the centre. Adelaide just settling now in this last 3 or 4 minutes. Particularly with Toby Murray going into the ruck there as well. Strawn on the bench at present. Back in the centre. Ruck's going at it again. Murray does get the tap down and roves his own work. Coombs wrapped him up straight away, ball up. So secondary ball up by the umpire. Still in the centre circle, but slightly favouring Adelaide. Tap forward. Mays works his way cleverly through the contest. O'Loughlin. He's working out now by handball. Wigg's going to break it with the torp up towards centre half forward. Tahana trending back now for Adelaide. It's a 3-on-1. He's done really well to just tap it through to advantage. But in doing so, they've put it back to Grubb, who was possibly taken high. Felt the contact coming and just dropped the knees. Grubb wheels around. Like what he saw. It was a vacant square. Is that coming back? No, not through for a behind. 3-3-21 there, peppering North Adelaide. Adelaide 1-1-7.
When they're going forward really hard at the moment, North. As we said, Grubb wins a free kick, turns, but he did have one-on-ones ahead of him, went the longest shot. Adelaide did well there to spoil it, get it over the line. They need to settle now as they come out of half-back. This is where they've given it away a little bit. They need to get a little bit of control possession if they can.
Ryan just was able to try and bring it back to ground. Strawn has just come off the bench. Puts it up now into a 3-on-1. Davis is going to have to go against those three. Adelaide have got the numbers. North Adelaide have got the numbers at the fall of the ball. Spina sends him up towards centre half forward. Punch comes in over the top there of Elbro for a throw-in. So Adelaide just have settled in that last 4 or 5 minutes. Back to that 14-point margin. Here on SANFL now with Chris Kendall and Jack Hanneth. Throw in. Right, It's going at it. Finlay just getting the tap forward. Putting around the ball for both teams. Trying to keep it in was Edwards, but the boundary line wins out for a throw-in.
Just looking at the setup, Chris, obviously to the right of the viewer's screen, North Adelaide at the moment they're man on, but they love looking to try and get some drop-off, get some opportunity. We saw Finlay on the one before. Spina's been that role a number of times. They love trying to get a drop-off, get a player behind the ball to help generate their offence from the back half.
Tap down there was straight into the lap of Mays, who sends North Adelaide up and towards the Lockyer Junior direction. Ramsey also went for the fly. Lockyer Junior's going to claim it though. Now at the post-match, I'll tell that Ramsey will say that he was setting a screen there for Lockyer Junior, but either way, he'll still be lining up from straight in front.
Very selfless by Ramsey to set that screen, Chris, but it was a great grab, wasn't it? It was distracting. Ramsey flying across, held his nerve though and got it on the second bite. Lockyer Junior, he started well up forward. He's given them a real target.
Comes back, and that was never going to miss the minute it left the boot for his second and North Adelaide's fourth. They are 4-3-27, back out to that 20-point lead over Adelaide at 1-1-7.
We did mention, Chris, he's such a tough matchup, Lockyer Junior. As you said, he's deceptively taller than probably what he looks at times, but he's very quick, very agile. And as we see there, he's also got a nice leap on him. Got that one on the second bite. Adelaide's defence, we said Butts had come back in to help sharpen them up, give them a little bit of pillar of stability as well. Curtin down there, he's playing on Harvey. Some good matchups for the Crows.
You just sense they need to win a couple of centre clearances now there as well. That's where North Adelaide has had the ascendancy through Mays and Wigg there at the moment. Schoenberg's in there at present. He's got Coombe by his side. As you hear the romantics blaring over these senses. I don't mind this sort of 80s music. This is just what SANFL should be all about back in the 80s.
Your vintage, Chris?
It is my vintage indeed. Giving away my age very so slightly there. Thank you very much, Jack. Trying to work it through to advantage there was Hoy. Zekeli. Lost it before he had it. Strawn. Handball into nothing really in particular. So Hoy goes there on hands and knees. Schoenberg over the top of him. Is able to work partially out of traffic. Ball spills free. He was looking for Dowling. Coombe. Just pulled that kick there at the last minute. That's going to be a last touch rule, and Jordan Butts to bring it back in for Adelaide. Thought about chipping forward to Edwards. Can go a little bit further down the line towards Jay Boyle, who hasn't kicked a goal against North Adelaide for 7 years. Slightly exaggerated by the fact he missed 3 years of SANFL, but it's a good stat when you read it otherwise. Comes out towards this centre wing that's set up for Van Houston to drift through. Was touched off the boot, but now it's going to be a free. So Van Houston thinking about going sideways to Spina. The option's still on. Murphy's just corralling that temporarily. Alex to work it up towards centre half forward. Harvey's coming up the van there. Lockyer Junior as well. Punch comes in over the top. Boyle arrives at the fall of the ball. He's been wrapped up by Lockyer for a ball up. Just Adelaide, North Adelaide look a little bit more cohesive in the aerial contest at the moment. They seem to have 2 or 3 flying for the ball most times. Strawn gets the tap down. Adelaide gets the temporary exit. They'll be happy enough to set over the boundary line through Gallagher, the last goal kicker for Adelaide.
As well, I think sometimes Adelaide as well, Chris, just coming out of the back half, they're a little bit stagnant ahead of the ball at the moment. I think they get 1, 2, maybe little chip-ups, but then it's often a long kick, and we've seen North, as you said, they've been really dominant in the air at the moment in this first term.
Tap down there from Strawn, but it was straight to Zekeli, who works, trying to work it out of the defence now, Adelaide. Lano Lachlan taking the intercept. Sends them up and towards the Harvey direction. Oh, that's a great mark. Arm was being held there by Butts. The umpire had already put the whistle to his mouth, but Harvey removed any doubt from the contest with a great mark.
It's a fantastic mark, wasn't it? Up against a really strong opponent in Jordan Butts, but we know Mitch Harvey, his strength is obviously his strength, and he did enough there to hold off and got down nice and low. It was a great mark in the end. But I've loved Blaine O'Loughlin off half-back. I reckon he's given them something early, North Adelaide. We know he was on Adelaide's list last year as one of their 19-year-old players, and he's come back to North, and he's been really dominant, hasn't he? He's been set them up, and that was a beautiful kick there to Mitch Harvey.
North fans have been calling for Harvey to be a permanent forward for years. That's why, as he gets his second, and North Adelaide's fifth. They are 5-3-33. Adelaide 1-1-7. Just when it seems like Adelaide rest back a little bit of momentum, Jack, they seem to lose the ball in the 50-50 contest, and North Adelaide capitalise each time.
It just hurts you, doesn't it, when you do so much work, as Adelaide's defence has done at times. They've really held up. They've been quite strong, got in there, but then, as we've said before, just trying to move the ball out. They just haven't probably had enough forward of the ball, a little bit stagnant at times. And then North each time, they've just gone back, and really, Harvey's shown his class, as you said. He's been a very good ruckman, but he is so potent up forward, deadly accurate, very strong, hard to match up on, and a great finish there by him.
A little bit of juice left in this quarter, 25 minutes gone. As the umpire throwing the ball aloft, Hoy leapt high, tap down, trying to work through now is Schoenberg. He's getting his hands on the ball nice and early. Strawn pulled that kick towards Murphy. And Murphy going long and deep in towards the pocket. Burgess, what a grab! That's fantastic stuff. The one thing that stood out in his time at the Gold Coast Suns, Jack, is his contested marking. Even if going against 2 or 3, he just seems to have those magnets to bring it straight to ground. It
was a huge grab, wasn't it? A very nice sit as well, going back almost on the 45-degree angle. But as you said, Chris, when he went up and got his hands on it, he never looked like he was going to drop that then. Excellent mark. He kicked the 3 goals last week against Glenelgan. Probably lacked a bit of opportunity, because when he did get some one-on-ones, he did have some really nice contested marks as well last week. Big chance here for Adelaide. 35
out. Distance will be no trouble. And neither will the accuracy. That is a beautiful finish from the big man. Adelaide 2-1-13. North Adelaide 5-3-33. As regular listeners will know, I'm a passionate follower of the Gold Coast Suns, and he was one I was disappointed to see come back, but great for Adelaide fans that he's here.
Absolutely, isn't it? He's had an interesting career trajectory. When he was at West Adelaide, he was a key defender.
Yep.
And then, as we called last week, he actually hadn't kicked a goal in the SANFL until last week against the Bay. So he's kicked another one today as well. But when he had his time up on the Gold Coast, winner of the VFL's leading goal kicker award as well. So we know he's got that forward now. Excellent mark there and a super finish. As we said, obviously a very North Adelaide-centric crowd today, but I think it probably deserved a little bit more of a cheer. It was a great mark and a nice finish as well from a tough angle.
You'd say he's got the experience matchup certainly over Fringle at the moment, and a couple of centimetres as well certainly help. Strawn, tap straight down. North Adelaide won't be going in a great hurry any further with that one. Ball up. As emerging off the ball, there is Wisman. Tap down. Coombe just tries to hurry it forward by foot. Punch back in. Schoenberg going on hands and knees, trying to work it forward, but it comes back now towards the Ripstree direction. Sends them up towards centre half forward. Plenty of numbers around the ball here. Free has been picked out, and that's going to go to McInerney by the looks of things. Now, he's not completely outside his range, Sam McInerney, but he thinks he is. He just works it into the pocket, and popping up now will look to be Finlay again, or is that May? No, it's Finlay.
It was an interesting choice. I was in your camp, Chris. I thought McInerney might actually have the trip. I know he's a very nice kick of the footy. He's kicked to Finlay, who's obviously closer, but a very tough angle. Would be a good finish and a really good set shot if he's able to nail it from here.
45 out, deep in the pocket. That's coming back. That is coming back magnificently, as called by Jack Hanneth here. What are the lotto numbers like for tomorrow as well? Thanks, Jack. 6-3-39 at North Adelaide. Have broken back out to a 26-point lead against Adelaide, who are 2-1-13.
I'm glad McInerney knows his teammates better than I do. What a super finish just there. McInerney, he's been involved in a lot of play. I've loved his positioning and some of his work rate from that half forward. We know early in the contest he was getting up, he was being that length player, winning himself the free kick there. Very nice to pick out Finlay, and what a super finish. He was tucked up tight against the boundary. As you said, there's a beautiful day today, not much wind, and an excellent finish by Finlay. What a great goal to kick North Adelaide 6 for the contest so far.
And what an interesting wild card by Jacob Surgeons, who had only kicked 6 SANFL goals before today. He's already got 2 in the first quarter here. Might have shades of Lockie Wilson a few years back when he kicked 8 in the first half, or 7 in the first half. Back in the centre. Ruck's going at it again. Strawn, double-fisted tap down. They're not capitalising on that at the moment. Mays should be able to work it away from the clearance. Sends it up now towards Fellows. Heard the voice over the top there of O'Loughlin, who just pulled the kick cleverly there at the last minute. Schoenberg, he's racking up getting the pull today. Might be registering a disposal for that one. Strong tackle. And Coombe just working North Adelaide up again in towards attack. Lockyer Jr. knocked out of his hands. Butts coming through with the receive. Ball comes spinning back into a disputed situation again. Schoenberg trying to work through, but Wisman's got him caught to rights. Ball up.
I think another thing Jacob Surgeon would love seeing, Chris, as the quarter-time siren goes, is just that pressure, that tackle intensity from North at the moment. They're right in this contest.
North Adelaide opening out to...
Reflected that 15-8 as well. They've been capitalising off the back of that contest, getting in and penetrating.
Let's see how Adelaide respond here in the second term action at Prospect Oval. It's Hoy and Strawn going at it. Strawn prowling like a caged tiger immediately. Schoenberg just kicked it straight out of the air. Now, he's not going to get the advantage for that one. Probably rightly so. He was being held at the contest. So he'll now get the free for his 7th disposal of the match. He's not in any sort of enormous hurry to get back to the mark either. The problem is that's leaving North Adelaide time to drop numbers back. So Schoenberg to work into the pocket. North Adelaide have already got a +1 out there. So it's going to be a real pack situation. Murphy at the fall of the ball. Lachlan navigates his way cleverly through the situation. Thought about a second bounce. Loops it over the top now by hand. North working on that outer side. It's a 2-on-1 contest. Butts, was he able to bring that one to ground? No, ball up. No, I hesitate taking the mark. I must admit I thought he had clear purchase on that one.
That was terrific by Butts then, Chris. He backed himself. He came off Mitch Harvey, went and affected it, made it a 2-on-1 and took a sensational grab on that far wing.
Just chips it over the top to Schoenberg. Now again, he's just got to wait for some moving options. They're fairly stagnant as they get towards this zone of the ground. So he goes in towards the pocket. 1-2, Van Housted taking the mark in defence. No, not paid. Must have been hands in it. Ball up.
You saw Schoenberg then on the mark, almost hands up, a little bit of frustration. I think he's seeing a bit what we were in the first term, stagnant Adelaide at times. They need to try and generate some more movement to get it inside their forward line.
Magor, Fellows, works out of the back half, straight into the chest there of Ramsey despite a fair degree of pressure. So Keenan, Ramsey centre wing, slightly towards half back. Waiting for something to work down the lines from. You can't leave Campbell Coombe like that all by himself, nor Harrison Wick, who went past for the handball receive, who sends it up towards the Lockyer Junior direction, but Butts, second time in 2 minutes, just working his way to the front. He can look to go sideways towards Curtin. Still 25 out from his defensive goal, so this is going to be the money kick for him. Running backwards of the flight, not able to quite bring it to ground there was Taylor, but he was good enough to recover when he hit the ground. Well done there against Magor, sends it up now towards Burgess. Now Burgess has got Magin breaking into space, he's seen him too. Magin running backwards with the flight, just has to take it carefully, play on, work his way around the Van Housted issue and poke it up towards the 25 metre arc where he gets the lead up now from Murray.
That was sensational in the end by Zach Taylor. He mopped up his mess. Drop ball was probably an easy one, but I liked it. He stayed composed, beautiful left foot to find Burgess, and then Magin probably could have almost had a shot. He was running in, but he did straighten up. Kicked it to Toby Murray, and he's a very gettable spot here, 35 metres out directly in front.
It's always a bit of a 50-50 with Toby Murray at best, 4-4 for the season. So either way he's going to break the deadlock, unless the ultimate commentator's curse comes. So 40 out, crowd hushed. Sliced through that very, very neatly, and the only movement from the goal umpire was 2 fingers. You can tell it's a goal because it's complete silence here at Prospect. They are 3-1-19 Adelaide. North Adelaide 6-3-39. Who supports community footy in SA? Amy does, with Murray's first.
Very nice finish by Murray, and I really like that from the Adelaide Crows. I think we commented a number of times in that first quarter. I just felt like they were quite stagnant, particularly coming out of half-back. We saw that excellent intercept again by Jordan Butts. 2 really good marks early in this first 5 minutes. Was able to switch the ball. Taylor mopped up his mess, but they just look better when they're moving, putting pressure on the ball. When you saw North Adelaide's defence, they're then having to work back. It puts them under a lot more pressure as opposed to the slow ball movement. North Adelaide get their numbers back and then repel. It was better by Adelaide. Matthew Wright, he'd really like seeing that at the moment, early in this second term.
And Jacob Surgeon's made the move too. He's moved Harvey now towards a deep goal square, so that pulls Butts back into defence. Right in the last line, that is. Taylor just shoveled it off by hand. Now it's with Edwards. They received that from Schoenberg. Adelaide coming out towards Murphy. 75 out. He's already got the wheels moving. Puts them up and towards the hot spot. Plenty of numbers flying back there for both teams. Hilda wraps up his opponent in a tackle. Ball up as Burgess having a minor inquiry to the umpire. So ball up, Strawn. Tap forward by Lachlan. Wig just works it away from the danger situation. Was to the feet there of Harry Boyle. He's been wrapped up in a tackle. Did he have prior opportunity? Umpire agrees. So taking it now will be Wisman. He thought about going towards Ramsey. That option's been closed off, so he's committed himself to going up the lines in an up-country mongrel punt that sets it up now for Adelaide to just march through in the defensive stoppage. Puts it up in towards the direction here of Gallagher. Heard the voice cruising past. Getting it back there in that 1-2 now. Gallagher sends it up towards Murphy. Wigg certainly taken high. I think the whole grandstand saw that one, and Harry Wigg made sure the immediate suburb did too by putting the arms out. Tips it forward to Coombe, two of the most decorated North Adelaide midfielders. Now Frengel just working it forward. Oh, that was a heavy collision there on Elbro. So he will take the free, a longish half back. Brings it back inboard to Wigg. So Wigg working it forward. He's looking initially down there for Hoy. Coming through now is Taylor. Sends it straight into the lap back there of Wigg, who just gets a second opportunity. No, it wasn't much better than the first. He picked out Dowling, who was largely minding his own business. Comes back in towards the centre. Davis flirted with the sideways handball, but elects to go long. Up towards centre half forward. That's good use of the body down there by Smithson, who takes the mark directly in front, about 40 out.
A really clever kick then by Davis in the end, CK. I really like that. He had the option. We could see Spina. He was looking to be the one that worked back. Just pulled his kick a little bit, redirected to Smithson, who has a favourable match up there against O'Loughlin. A bigger frame, stronger, and he just really used his body well to keep him out, take a nice contested mark. Smithson, he kicked 3 goals last week at the Bay, kicked a couple special ones as well. He's a very capable goal kicker here, 40 metres out directly in front.
He's golden in the last 5 matches, 6 goals, 1 for the season, leans back and breaks the drought there. 6 goals, 2 for the season for Smithson. As he looks up to the box and says, Seiko, don't read out my stats like that. You know what's going to happen. 19-point margin out of North Adelaide.
Good to see he's listening to the broadcast, Chris.
Guess someone's got to be at some point. It's the law of averages. Strawn takes a strong mark down there as North Adelaide looking for the defensive transition. Now, they've had the early dominance in this second term. They just need to make them pay for it now, North Adelaide. Plenty flying for it. Punch comes down to the ground. Magin at the fall of the ball. Fellows got it off by hand, but it's going to come straight back in from whence it came. Now, Jay Boyle, he's about on his range at the moment, but he fancies himself.
He's backing. I saw Murphy go past him. He's got Curtin inside both left footers, but he looks like he's going to back himself in here and kick from the paint.
So Boyle comes in, crosses the 50. That is going a long, long way out of bounds on the full. Spina to bring it back in. No, it goes back to Frengel. So Frengel with the duties of the defensive release. Brings it out now looking for Hoy, who just takes it at top of the defensive 50. Grandstand side, North by 19.
Like the way he started the game. Chris, another good one. Obviously, he had the debut last week. Hoy's taking task. Strawn's probably got him at the moment in hit-outs, but he's been very competitive. Surgeon would like seeing what he's delivering at the moment.
North working it towards the outer side. Finlay went for the fly. Curtin was in there also. O'Loughlin trying to keep his feet and bring it back to a 50-50 contest. Strong tackle there by Elbro on Harry Boyle. North Adelaide, however, just able to have the answers there at the moment. So bring it out towards O'Leary here in this grandstand side, right for your broadcast position of Chris Kendall and Jack Hanneth. Played it down the lines. It was to the feet there of Burgess. Elbro arrived as the mop-up option. Pokes down the line. It was lucky grub, my apologies. Spinning out of one tackle, Bond just got out of the second. O'Leary, Ryan. Now chips it over the top by hand. Edwards spun his way out of one tackle. That's not correct disposal. And the Prospect crowd agree with that one. Mays will be the recipient. And he's got one-on-ones up the line. Adelaide are now just dropping a loose defender back up towards centre half forward. So he sends it up towards this half forward line. Over the top there. Waiting at the back there was Finlay. Did he have Pryor? Umpire says no. Curtin puts out the don't argue. Navigates his way beautifully through the situation and spots up Murphy at half back, who thought about playing on. Likes to go sideways instead, where it's now with Taylor. Just a patient build-up here. Massages the ball forward into Burgess in the centre of Prospect Oval. Now looks to go sideways by foot. Taylor, 60 out. Unloads and unloads beautifully. That is a magnificent finish for Zach Taylor for his 11th SANFL goal. And Adelaide are starting to respond to the early North Adelaide challenge. 4-2-26. North Adelaide stuck on their quarter time score of 6-3-39.
Almost looks like it's been a carbon copy and the teams have just flipped jumpers. Chris, at the moment they are playing exactly how North Adelaide were in the first term. Then we saw Adelaide. I love Curtin's presence of mind there. Stayed composed. He won the ball in the contest, looked inside, they switched it out, moved it to Butts. Burgess hitting up the field and then gets it in Taylor's hands and an excellent finish. That exact same, I guess, really build up from what North Adelaide was doing in the first term, getting in the ball at half-back, switching the play, using the corridor, really driving it forward. Adelaide, they'll be loving what they're producing at the moment this second term. 9
of the 10 goals so far in the match kicked to that end. If you're watching at home, folks, I can assure you there is not a sparrow's cough of wind at that end of the ground. At the moment, it's the farmer end seems to be all the scoring. How apt. Back in the centre. Umpire bounce did favour Murray there, if anything. Grubb. Looking for the centre clearance now, North Adelaide, up towards half forward. Punch over the top, Ramsey at the fall of the ball. They'll be happy enough to see this over the boundary line, North Adelaide, for a throw-in. Almost, they just need to get their hands on the ball for 30 to 45 seconds, Jack, just to get it back on an uncontested situation and bring the game back on their terms a bit.
It was like we said, it's almost been roles flipped. North, they look a little bit hesitant at times, a little bit stagnant. As you said, they just need to control it, get it in their forward line, lock it down, get some stoppages here.
Slip through the hands of Mays and ultimately Wigg also for another throw-in. Right in front of the Prospect grandstand, which is starting to get up and about. Husted and Burgess having a little bit to say off the ball back there. Dropping back now is Carl Finlay into defence. His forward duties have been done for the day. Apparently he's kicked 2, he's gone back to defence. Throw in. Tap down. Murray. Mays worried out of it. Another pack, ball up.
Ramsey fighting at the moment, Chris. He's lost his boot, but he's got to do the ruck again. He's had his second contest now as his boot gets flung to the boundary line.
Can't wait to see how he goes on the right foot if he needs it. Mays. And right on cue. That wasn't too bad, actually. It was smothered, though. But wasn't entirely his fault. Taylor. He's been ridden to the turf by Coombe. Ball up. As Clean and Ramsey will look for a short run in the pits at the moment just to replate the tyres. So tap down there from Murray. Wigg. Backwards by hand towards Coombe. Now they've got the option as Elbro sends it up and towards the Harvey direction. Lockyer Jr. went for the fly, wasn't able to quite bring it to ground. Someone needed to call the other one in. Tahana. Now working it out of the back half for Adelaide. Sitting at the back here is Burgess. He's been well corralled there and a perfect tackle by Magor. Ball up. They were just about away then, the Crows, but Magor, the dour defender, halted Chris Burgess' journey. Murray. Tap down. Wigg. Just knocking up, getting the peel. Shows a fair bit of air there towards Fellows. He takes it under a reasonable degree of pressure from Boyle. Jay Boyle, that is. Younger brother Harry out there also. So Fellows indicating he's not going to go backwards. And then right on cue, I'd love to play poker with him. They work out of the back half now through Van Husted. Now he's got one-on-ones everywhere. Now he has got a mismatch over the top. If he can get it down there, needs to hurry up and get it towards Rykstra, who's going to be forced to go for a big fly against Murray, and you'd back the ladder every day of the week on that. A little bit too slow there with that last disposal. Bring it back in, Murray. Edwards. Now just working it further down, as it's going to end up now with Ryan, who pokes Adelaide up and towards the attack. Now it's Madgen, who is just outside his range, I think. He thinks so too. Skipper's going to go back and own the situation. No breeze at all to speak of.
Just flipped the script, haven't they? Once again, a little bit too slow by North Adelaide. Van Husted had to go quicker, but Adelaide so quick on the rebound. Imagine here.
They delivered a beautiful pass. Unfortunately, it was to Dyson Hilder, who was on the mark. Now the ball's back in dispute. Madgen tries to go back there and address a messy part they created. Ball up.
They did look so much more potent, didn't they, when they get the ball in Ryan's hands and they get that speed going through the middle. It just opens up the game, gets the forwards coming, presenting at them.
Absolutely. Special comments there from Jack Kenneth with Chris Kendall here on SANFL now. Dowling, Mays, Wigg, who works it out of the back half towards Nigel Lockyer Jr. playing a long way up the ground. He just gets these skates on straight away. McInerney in a 2-on-1 situation. Thought about coming back in board, calling for teammates to come to him. McInerney goes out and towards the Harvey direction, tap down into the path of Zekeli. Oh, what a dangerous person to have it. Just works his way around. That's some Zekeli magic for you, folks, as he gets it out to a 19-point margin. Wonderful work there and great reactive work from Mitch Harvey to bring it to ground.
Didn't they repel so nicely then, North Adelaide? We said they've probably been a little bit stagnant in this second term, but no worries there. Got the ball moving quickly. Wig again. He's been prolific at the moment. He's up to 18 touches, CK. I think Adelaide have definitely got to start looking about what they're going to do with him, but moving it forward. Mitch Harvey, we said how potent he'd been in that first term. 2 goals, but just doing the team thing there. Enough to create a contest. Zeckley, a class player, picks up. Speed to burn, ends up going with a nice right foot finish. Excellent work by North Adelaide.
And that's again the importance of having Harvey up there. It brings his ruckwork side onto things, doesn't it, Jack? He knows it's in a contested situation, just puts that death tap straight down onto a rover, so to speak, in ruckman's terms.
He's such a big frame, a strong frame. He's hard to outmark. He's hard to really win against. He does enough there to create the contest, get the ball to ground. North Adelaide surgeon, he'd be liking this response here from North Adelaide in the second term.
Certainly would. After Adelaide owned the opening few minutes, Dowling gets the centre clearance up and towards the Murphy direction. Minovini worried them both out of it. Comes back in now, Mays, Coombe, O'Loughlin, all by hand. Fellows will break that with the pass down the lines to the last goal kicker in Zeckley. North by 19 points. Works it over the top, Lockyer Jr. Now he's got Coombe on the run and he's moving too. He's got Dowling wanting to close him down, needs to keep it in board. Works it up in towards the forward line. Finlay just trying to juggle it all the way through. Goal comes out now towards Murphy, still in dispute. O'Leary, he spun around straight into attacker there. That was a bit untidy from Wisman. Don't think too many would complain about that one. O'Leary just wanting to work it forward. Hilda against Madgen. The former got the hand in and brought it back to the situation neutral for a throw-in. Or is that going to be a free? No, Hilda being held. Must admit, I thought Madgen was getting very vociferous for what was going to be a throw-in. Finlay sets it up now towards Frengel. Next link in the chain is going to be Magor. There's nothing really moving short for him as he works it out towards the Wisman direction. Frengel cruising past for the handball receive. Takes a bounce. That was an interesting technique. Comes in board now towards Harrison Wick, coming up for disposal, number 19. Puts a little dinky chip further down the lines. That sets it up perfectly for Strawn, however. Now Strawn looks to work for it. 2 Crows players crashing into one another. Again, lack of voice by Adelaide at the critical time, so that's going to be a free and holding the ball. Well wrapped up there, Minovini. No. North Adelaide now through Hilda. He's got Ramsey's just come off the bench. Andy's seen him too, and he's going to take the uncontested mark. You cannot leave this man in all sorts of space. Harvey's already trending back, but he looks to poke it in towards the direction here of Coombe.
It's a very nice mark in the end, CK. Always a tough one. He was going back on a bit of an angle grub. Curtin could easily have been coming hard the other way, but he had enough space. Very nice finish, but Adelaide, gee, they'd want that moment back, wouldn't they? They did some very nice work. Strawn takes the intercepting mark off Wig, and as you said, just a little bit of lack of communication between Madgen and Daniele. The turnover, the holding the ball, and Ramsey comes on at the right time, ends up finding Grubb, but a very tough kick. We're right behind it at the moment. It'll be take his best here, Lockie Grubb.
Last week was his first goal, 5-20. He's waiting for a win that isn't actually there, but he's setting up there for the easy intercept for Strawn. Strawn, this is going to have to be precise. They've shown a fair bit of it now to Mays. Ball still in dispute. Grubb has a second opportunity. Does he make better with the second? No, but he does pick out Ramsey. Is that a mark? 7-4-46. It's back out to a 20-point lead now North Adelaide's way. Adelaide 4-2-26.
It was super then by Clifford. You heard some of the North Adelaide coaching stuff, I think, working the woodwork in the box behind us, but Ramsey looked like he was going to be in the box seat. Then Chris take that chest mark. Clifford did enough to force it over, rush behind.
Smithson against Mays in the contest, and a strong mark almost taken there by Murray, who just came through at last option. Wig back to Spina. He works it out looking for Harvey, but this mark almost taken in front there by Curtin, who just massages the kick forward now towards Jaden Davis. Davis works it towards Schoenberg. They've dulled his influence slightly in this term, Schoenberg. Chips over the top. Closing down now is Smithson. Must be that 53 jumper. He looks exactly like Louis Sharrod still from behind. I've just got that sort of low centre of gravity. I keep wanting to say Sharrod every time he goes near it. Anyway, as I move out of 2023, tap down. Gallagher. He's been corralled immediately there by Magor. Ball up.
Crows need something now, CK, from this stoppage. It's down inside their forward half, nearly inside their 50. Need a response. They were better of the two teams early in the second term, but North have got the ascendancy back again.
Strawn, tap into the path of Mays. Murphy, this is the sort of situation he normally loves. Minavini tries to hurry it forward. Coombe wasn't able to quite get a boot onto it. Spina came past in the support. Now they're looking to work out of the back half. This went up down the line towards Ramsey. There is nothing in the 50. There is now. They're starting to get a couple of options breaking there, but Adelaide have got options breaking down there also. And knocking it over the boundary line here in North Adelaide through the youngster in Ripstra.
Just the issue for Adelaide at the moment, I reckon, CK, they were doing so well at the start of that quarter, but we see there the stoppage down just on the top of their 50, and so quickly it transitions now to the top of North Adelaide's 50. They're in a dangerous position again. Absolutely, they are, especially with Mays down working by himself at the fall of the ball, but the boundary lineman's out for a throw-in as we tick into time on. So Adelaide have worked so hard to try and plug the gaps, but they've only managed to get it back one further goal. Crosstown Central by 21 points and West by 6 at half-time at Richmond. Tap down. Boundary line you suspect would win out here again. Oh no, keeping it back in there unwisely. Zekali looks it out now for Lockyer Jr. Almost able to bring it to ground too. Does get a toe poke to it. Working through now to Ripstra. Does he bring it back? No, he does not. Minus score. 21-point margin, however. North Adelaide's way 7-5 to 4-2. Taylor would love that moment back. Just had enough pressure on him. He could have probably just walked it over the line. We've ticked over the 20-minute mark. Instead, flips it over his head. Zekali, North go inside 50. Lucky not to concede a major.
Absolutely. Adelaide now identify Curtin as their exit option. 30 out from defensive goal. Davis calling for it short. Clifford also very short. Going to be forced to kick down the lines now. Into a real contested situation. Murray's down there. Van Houston probably got the hands in at the back and the umpire agreed. So Strawn.
It's been good in this last 5 minutes. He's taken a couple nice grabs. Wins himself a free kick there, Strawn. Need their big men playing well, Adelaide, because we know North's big men have really started the game well.
Clifford now takes it. Yeah, you're right, Strawn. This is where the experience advantage over Hoy will start to come into the fore, particularly in time on. He's got Schoenberg breaking into all sorts of space out there. Had to be precise. Minavini did get the hand on it for a throw-in. Situations, he almost would have been better letting it run out of bounds, but you can't be sure they're in a 50-50, particularly against the experienced Schoenberg. It's front of the function centre, which has got a fantastic crowd in front of it today. Doing really well here in North Adelaide with that new facility. Tap down, Hoy. The path there of Mays, who dished it off down towards Coombe, illegally, said the umpire, and not even the most ardent North Adelaide fans are disagreeing with that one, Schoenberg. Now Curtin's working forward. Did see him, but elects to go towards the hot spot. Punch comes in. It's going to be seen over the boundary line there by Daniele, is it? No, North Adelaide do manage to keep it in there. Really walking the tightrope at the moment. But Fellows just needs to try and step his way around the Gallagher issue. Oh, they're working themselves into trouble here. North Adelaide, Madgen brings him to ground. No prior opportunity to the umpire, despite the skipper's protestations for Adelaide. So, deep into time on here. Goal for Adelaide would make things real interesting at half-time. Fellows heard the voice over the top there. O'Loughlin now looking for the exit kick. Goes out towards that outer side. Ball's in dispute here at the back of the pack. Ball comes back in. Adelaide now. Taylor just works it forward. Strong mark here taken by Davis. So Jaden Davis waiting for something to present in the forward 50 that he likes. Goes out towards the Strawn direction, but Murray comes in over the top and calls shotgun. Again, clever work there by Strawn. He was just able to hold his defender back and allow Murray a more unimpeded access to the ball, and he'll now be lining up for his second.
It was a great mark then by Murray. Chris, I thought Adelaide, they let the ball too easy out of their forward 50 before. They were just able to cruise out North. But Curtin, who I reckon has really stood up in this game, he's had a really strong start for Adelaide, did enough, helped out with the intercept, came back inside, and Davis, I thought he almost popped it up, gave it a little bit too much air, but he set the perfect launch pad there for Murray to come over the back from 3 deep, take a really strong mark, and a chance here to kick Adelaide to 5th.
So 35 out slide angle to the Farmer end, where so many of the goals have been kicked today. That does not add to that, but it does add to the scoring for Adelaide. Back to a 20-point margin their way as we tick over towards 24.5 minutes. So North Adelaide look to bring it out now from the kick in. Deep on the last line of defence. Mago's going to be called to play on shortly. Plays it out now towards the Van Husted direction. Butts coming in over the top. Underground handball, search for and found Van Husted. Clifford is certainly impeded there. Can't disagree with that one too much. Grubb did have his back to the play, as we can see the 2-minute sign going up down on the bench for Adelaide. Clifford sends Adelaide up again. Must have been the 30-second sign. My apologies, folks. That wasn't a very short 2 minutes. But either way, it is half-time here at Prospect Oval, and we've got a very intriguing second half brewing here. North Adelaide only kicked the 1-2 in that term to Adelaide's 2-2, and it's 7-5 at 47. North Adelaide to Adelaide 4-3-27 at half-time. The goal kickers for North, 2 to Harvey, Lockyer and Finlay. 1985, when John Farnham had taken over from Glenn Shorrock 2 years before. That's the end of Spicks and Specs for you, and we're now back in this third term as it's Hoy going up against Strawn. Hoy did get the tap down and works it forward by foot, albeit only about a foot. Ball up. So Madgen has Frengle alongside him at present. Tap down. It's going to be a free, and it's going to go to North Adelaide at the stoppage. Hilda off to Spina, who sends North Adelaide up in towards the attacking zone. McInerney was at the fall of the ball, wasn't able to quite bring it to bound. Rixter trying to work through. Tackle did linger there on North Adelaide. It is going to go, no, it isn't. It's going to go to Ryan. It goes sideways to Murphy, playing in defence at present. Murphy looking to go back in towards that back half where he finds Bond. Now it's the feet here of Curtin. He's has to navigate his way around the Mitch Harvey issue. Has got Butts calling for it as a defensive option, 25 out. So for all that possession at the moment, Adelaide, they really haven't moved the ball forward that far. This is going to be the money kick for them. Work down Madgen and Pringle, I should say. The former does get the hand in. Ryan. Adelaide comes back in towards this Ryan direction. That's a flat sort of kick. You heard that one come over the effects, Mike, and Minovini will get another touch over that just over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Just been a touch of the theme for Adelaide at the moment, hasn't we? Saw when they transitioned the ball to Curtin in the defensive half, just dropped short. Ryan, obviously not intentional, but skews off the side of the boot. Some of their foot skills have just let them down when they've had some nice chances to build up and generate play going forward. Yeah,
absolutely. They're just coughing up in the wrong parts of the ground, it's fair to say, as the boundary line wins out again. So right in front of your broadcast position of Chris Kendall, and 105 games at SANFL, 20 games at AFL level with Fremantle veteran Jack. I shouldn't call you veteran. There's only room for one veteran in this box at the moment, Jack. Tap down. Coombe trying to work it away from the stoppage. Ball up.
Just looking ahead of the footy for Adelaide, they've brought up Murray and they've brought up Burgess as well. Two really key marking forwards, and Smithson's playing the deeper role at the moment. He's lined up against Minovini. We said before, he's got a goal sense, he's got a nous. Can they generate something from there?
Mays, under heavy pressure from Taylor, goes to ground. Trying to just flick it forward there was Coombe. Ball comes smothering out now towards Strawn. He sends it up in towards the 25 zone. Almost able to work through there with Smithson. Is he able to get the arms free? Did he have prior opportunity? Yes, he did. So free now working out of the back half is Magor. There it goes sideways. Now it's with Fellows. Just puts on the afterburners. Links over the top by hand out towards Wigg. He's going to get back in a 1-2 with Fellows, who just kept drifting down to make that option. Pokes it in towards the centre of the oval. Where now Grubb takes a bounce. Has to step his way around Ryan. Gets it back in a 1-2. He's just lost his feet there at the wrong moment. This brings it back into a 50-50 that Ryan's got the advantage with. Great work in there from Mays to corral him. Ball up.
Adelaide fortunate there that Grubb lost his feet because he's got speed to burn Grubb, and we know he's going forward. They had one-on-ones ahead of the ball. Adelaide catch a break there, probably due for one as well in this game, but fortunate here with the stoppage on the wing.
Tap down, Taylor and Mays just shoveling it backwards towards Zekeli. Edwards just tapped that forward now towards Schoenberg, who works it in towards the pocket. Punch coming in over the top, good work in there from Magor. Schoenberg's trying to keep it in for a throw-in. So Carl Gallagher just drifting forward for that option. Not big on possession, but I like his wile and his guile at the contest more than anything else. He's got some real footy smarts in there. Throw in. Strawn. Tap down. Murphy. O'Leary. Brought down in the art of the tackle. Holding the ball, advantage. Mays. Now it's with Fellows, who just works him up in towards the Lockyer Junior direction. What a mark! He's looking to sprint in towards the 50. He's got Finlay working down there, but he saw something he liked further down the line in the pocket. And now North Adelaide will be lining up for a shot about 35 metres out.
What a call by UCK. What a grab by Nigel Lockyer Jr. That was sensational. He went up. It was tough. Harvey had actually come off his man. He was competing as well. There was two others in the contest, and he did so well. Sticky hands. He held it the whole way to the ground. Landed awkwardly as well, but I love that as well. He gets up, just takes his time, takes a breath, and then finds McInerney right on his own, probably about 40 out inside the forward 50. He was disciplined by him after taking such a big mark.
Had 12 or more disposals in 5 of his last 6 contests. This is probably the more important of them today. Leans back, arches the back, and sends that straight through the centre to send North Adelaide out to a game-high equal 26-point margin. They are 8-5 at 53. Adelaide 4-3 27. Who supports community footy in SA? Amy does, with McInerney's first.
It's probably been reflective, I think, of how the game has gone for a majority of it so far, that we just see Adelaide up on their forward flank. The ball comes in from the contest. A nice tap down by Strawn. Murphy gives to O'Leary, and he takes a beat too long. Ends up getting run down by Grubb. And we just see how quick North Adelaide were to transition the ball, move it so quickly through hand and then by foot. The super mark by Lockie, and then just the composure, the better use by foot that North have shown for a majority of this day over Adelaide to find McInerney in a sensational finish to kick North Adelaide's 8th for the game.
So the early gauntlet now thrown down to Adelaide. Ball back in the centre. And just to show that I keep up with the young folk, I know who this is. That's Wolfmother. See, I'm not just mired in the 1980s. Very hip and happening on the SANFL Now broadcast today. Wig. He's been wrapped up in a tackle straight away, ball up.
Your vintage spreads across years, Chris. Is that what you're telling us?
Oh, look, it spreads across centuries, it's fair to say there. I don't mind some early bark either. Ball up. Didn't like his later period, though, that Baroque time. Tapped down into the path there of Zekeli, but his pocket's been well picked. They're calling for a throw. The Adelaide crowd, they're going to get that. Wig just massaging the ball forward down the line. Just knocked away from Finlay. Oh, he's keeping it in there, Ryan. Well done, young man. Twisting and turning. Needs some support, though. Looped it over the top there behind it. Ended up in Zekeli's hand. Shovels it around. Wig to Coombe. Well smothered there by Dowling for a throw-in. Jack Hanna's got the 3-2-1 in the SANFL Now Player of the Year votes. There's going to be a fair number to pick from at the moment. A lot of players have had some big moments. Throw-in. Somewhat shallow throw-in there by the umpire. Dowling at the fall of the ball. Just knocked over the boundary line again for a throw-in there by Fellows.
Just looking at Lockie Murphy there, just trying to settle. He's telling the Adelaide forwards to round up. We've seen, as we've mentioned a number of times, Spina had been the one that's dropped off. He's coming back up to Murphy now, wanting the forwards to get up a bit higher, give him something, an option if there is a quick kick from this stoppage.
Hoy and Strawn going at it again. Tap forward into the path of Schoenberg. Just tries to bring the ball back inboard. O'Loughlin getting the punch out of the top there of Daniele. Now working away is Spina up towards half forward. Tap comes down. Grubb's on the move immediately, 50 out. Just sends it up looking for Harvey. He's going to net a kind bounce. He does not get it. Minor score, but it's a game high margin now of 27 points at North Adelaide's way. Bringing it straight back in from the kick in there is Adelaide. Out to O'Leary. Centre wing, longish half back. Now he's just waiting for someone to present. There's nothing moving with enormous conviction. Has to work it down where it's picked off almost there by Spina. Okay, so it does pick it back at a 1-2 now with O'Loughlin. Spina just propels the ball forward. Finlay, who works deep in towards the pocket. Coming out and meeting it there is Butts. Long, searching handball. Put it back into a 50-50 situation. Murphy thought about coming back in ball with the kick, but plays it down the line into the lap there of Daniele. Had Fringle calling also for it. Now it's with Wig. And Harrison Wig, nobody behind him. 17 in front to pick from. Just picks it up perfectly there towards Ramsey, who just works it forward. He's just starting to get off the leash now. Dykstra in 1-2. Is that going to be a mark down there towards Elbro? No, it is not. Adelaide just trying desperately to withstand the surge at the moment. Schoenberg just in front of the social club. Brings it down here. It's going to be a 1-on-3. Trying to work forward there was Madgen, Frengle, Wig. just pokes it towards O'Loughlin. That's only just gone the requisite journey, but he's got plenty of exit options on the outer side. One of those is Hoy. Now goes sideways. Spina got a bit of time and space in which to execute, and so's the recipient there in Zekeli. Where it flirted with the handball. Comes back inboard now towards Wisman. He's been wrapped up in a tackle straight away. Ball up.
The kick there that results in a stoppage, but it almost looks like there's a extra couple red and white Guernseys out there at the moment, CK. North, when they get the ball moving, they've just got so many options. There's so much happening ahead of the footy for them, whereas Adelaide, the contrast is just so tough. Going for them at the moment, they just lack some options. They lack a bit of vibrancy forward when they're trying to move the ball.
O'Leary taken high. Yeah, North Adelaide's outside run is really starting to come to the fore now, it's fair to say. It's going to be sitting in the air an awfully long time there for Ryan. Well done in there by Ripster, the second gamer. Works it forward by hand. Ramsey outside the 50, just barrels it forward. He's seen enough to just send it through for a minor score, however. 8-7-55, but they are really peppering now North Adelaide at the nearly 10-minute mark here of this third term.
Love that by Ripster in his second game. CK, that's what endears you to your teammates, going back with the flight, just doing enough to get a fist in, causing a turnover, giving North another shot on goal.
O'Leary to Murphy, but they're still trapped inside their defensive 50 at the moment, Adelaide, so he's going to have to go back to O'Leary, who had just exited that zone. But again, he's just caught in a real journey of indecision as to where to go, so he's got to go back to Murphy. The stream's not buffering, folks, they're just sharing amongst themselves. That's going to be 25 now, Ramsey just stepping over the mark. So that does get Adelaide out of that zone. Brings it up now where it's with Madgen. Back to Murphy, who'd kept running. Now sends Adelaide up towards half forward. Punch over the top. For the ball there was Magor. A couple of players really hitting the deck hard behind the play there. Strong was one of those. Ball up, and Hoy, the two ruckman. So 60-65 out from the Adelaide goal, currently trailing by 28 points. Strawn wraps it up in there towards Wisman, ball up. Bit of a lull just coming over the contest at the moment.
A player I did speak of at half-time, Chris Harrison Wigg, I think Edwards, he looks like he's wearing him pretty close at the moment. Wigg's had a couple of touches early in this quarter, but it looks like Edwards, I feel, has got the run with rolling him in the second half.
Not a bad matchup, actually. I don't mind that one. A little bit taller, and he's able to work with him on the outside. Spina works forward. McInerney brings it in now towards Grubb. Heard the voice calling on the outside. Elbro sends North Adelaide deep in towards the Harvey direction. Creative work. He was going to get the free anyway because he was being held. He did try to just work it forward, and now he'll be lining up for his third straight in front.
Didn't see exactly how it happened, but it looked like that quick ball movement again from North Adelaide had caught him out because Butts had been playing on Harvey, and he'd done quite well in this third term. He'd been assertive, been coming up, intercepting, but the mixed match there with Tahana, out-bodied, out-strength there by Harvey, who punted it about 30 metres away from his goal, but was awarded the free kick, so it's worked out all right for him, and his goal kicking has been spot on today, Chris.
Comes in from straight in front. Mitch Harvey, 11 goals straight for the season, and the first man to open the 3-goal club here in this contest. And North Adelaide are starting to open a commanding break of 34 points. They are 9-7-61. Adelaide 4-3-27. Since quarter time, Adelaide have scored 2 goals too.
Probably up because we've got some of the old records on today over the loudspeaker, Chris, but I feel like I'm sounding like one as once again we had a stoppage there for Adelaide. The contest was in, they got the repeat, but then just not able to do enough to hold it in there and generate an inside 50. Instead, North Adelaide go the other way. They're using the corridor once again. Quick speed of movement on the ball, and this time wasn't a mark, but a really good one-on-one and isolation there with Mitch Harvey, and his kicking has been super. He does not look like missing at all, Chris.
No, he does not. I've got 11 goals straight for the season. West Adelaide have skipped out to a 37-point lead at the Richmond Oval, so they're doing it for their teammate at the moment. Central's by 21 at the Ponderosa, but back in the centre, Mays didn't have clear possession of that. Now he's going to work North Adelaide forward again. They're going long and deep up in towards Harvey. Was able to bring it to ground. Oh, this is magnificent roving. Not so much the finish there by Lockie Grubb. His eyes just lit up when he saw that coming. But he was moving more like a cheetah than a grub. Either way, it's got out of bounds on the full.
I'm glad the crowd can laugh at that one, Seek. I reckon that would have missed a third set of goals, and he kicked that. I know he's going on the left foot, the non-preferred, but he bellied that, and that went straight over the line, about 40 metres away from the goals. But it was very nicely done. The front and centre's work before that was superb, Lockie Grubb.
Yeah, most certainly was. Very, very wily, no doubt about that. Edwards still trapped very deep in defence here. Again, Adelaide. Looking for Madgen down the lines. They get the punch in over the top. Ramsey had a couple of options for the hand, but elects to go up and towards the Lockyer Junior direction. Why wouldn't you? This man's been seeing it like an earth ball all day. He'll be lining up for his third.
So once again, it's that movement from Adelaide as they've come out. It's happened before when they've kicked in, and just then there was obviously the out of bounds on the fall, and then the long kick out. Probably their defence a little slow to reset. The contest comes off hands, and then the quick kick back. Lockyer takes it unopposed.
And sends that straight through the centre as North Adelaide break the 40-point margin for the first time in this contest. 10-7-67. Adelaide seemingly marooned on 4-3-27 at the moment. North Adelaide's outside run and speed is cutting Adelaide to pieces at the moment.
It is, isn't it? As Lockyer Junior becomes that second member of the three-goal club at the moment in this third term, just Adelaide needs something here. They need to really build a bit of pressure. We've gone about 15 minutes in this third term, but as you can see now, North, they look like they're getting a real ascendancy. Adelaide need to wrestle it back. Murray's coming into the middle at the moment, it looks like. We've also got on ball Dowling, who's been big as well. Smithson's over there. Adelaide need something here. They really need a winning clearance, a contest here, get it going their way, start to mount, start to get some inside 50 pressure.
Saw Dyson Hill to come into the bench a minute ago, and a little bit of discomfort. I can see his ankle's just being worked on down there at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on that one. As Lockie Grubb comes to the bench. Tap forward there by Murray. Into the path of Wigg, however. It's off towards Mays. And towards Zeckerly. Had it spent really before he had it. And Adelaide just looked to send it forward. Spina juggles it against Murphy. Takes it too. O'Loughlin tried to go back inboard by hand. Needs a little bit of support, however. Murphy just picked the pocket. But they should be able to work out of the back half now through Magor. He sends it up towards centre half back. That was well picked out there by Dowling. Didn't quite bring it to ground, however. Spina. North Adelaide just trying to hurry it forward, but it's been well cut off. Now Taylor's just waiting for something to move for him. Goes out deep in towards the pocket. Wasn't able to quite bring it to ground. There was Madgen. Working through traffic now is Edwards. Spins it up towards the top of the 25. Murphy at the back, but good work. Just nudging it out there by the younger fellows. So Fellows has got Wigg calling for it deep in the pocket, under a fair degree of pressure too. Madgen's picked that pocket. Now he just has to try and banana it back through. No, he does not. That sort of sums up Adelaide's day. The slight doors that have opened for them have been closed pretty quickly. 39-point margin North's way.
Frustration there from Madgen. I think he was trying to find Daniele, and I reckon Daniele thought he wasn't sure if it was going to go through himself. It looked like he could have nearly taken the mark and said let it go, and it hits the post, and Adelaide just squander an opportunity that they so desperately needed.
Hoy, McInerney loops over the top. It was speculative at best for Coombe, and dropping in and filling the hole there was Murray. Now Ryan for Adelaide. It closes from 50. He's looking out there for Burgess. Punch comes in over the top. Smothers out. Murphy twisting and turning on a Thrupney bit. Needs this to work back, and he also needs a hurricane to bring it back. He's getting neither. Out of bounds on the full.
Jacob Surgeon would love seeing that from Frengel there. Not his opponent, Burgess. He was sitting under. He was going to take an uncontested. Did enough to come off his man, come across to effect a spoil, and Murphy, his flying shot on goal there. Not accurate at all, out of bounds on the full.
That's a precision pass from Spina for the switch to O'Loughlin. Again, bringing it out towards this grandstand side. Back of the pack here is Tahana. Support of a teammate cruising past. They work it up the lines down to Smithson. So Smithson with Adelaide trailing by 39 points at the 18-minute mark. Chris Kendall and Jack Kenneth here for SANFL now. Round 4 host plus league action. Good work in there from Burgess to tap it towards ground. That allowed Frengel into the contest, however. Minavini. Now it's going to end up with Wigg, who received that from Magor. Wigg just looking to switch it back in. Is that going to be a push on Lockyer Junior? No, it is not. Tahana just using the body well. Now it's back to Murray. Gee, they're flirting with danger, but they've probably got to at the moment. Harry Boyle. Smithson's calling for it in front of the grandstand here. But Boyle indicating he's going to work up and towards the Burgess direction. Great mark. Had his name written all over that one. And again, from very limited opportunities, Jackie just keeps presenting.
Super grab, wasn't it? CK really got up there, elevated in the pack, but just Adelaide, just once again, their ball movement, it was stagnant, it was slow. They then end up kicking long. It's to a contest, and it takes that a bit of individual brilliance from Chris Burgess to pull down a really strong contested mark.
To say they need this would be an enormous understatement. He'll have no trouble with the distance. Tell you what, I think I'll have trouble with the accuracy either. That is a beautiful finish for his second. Adelaide's first multiple goal scorer. 5 goals for 34 Adelaide. North Adelaide 10-7, 67. Gets that back to a 33-point margin.
Exactly right. Something they desperately needed then, that major from Chris Burgess. Love the hands, really strong contested mark and a great finish. But Adelaide here, as we're going to tick slowly into the 20-minute mark and go into time on, they just need something. Schoenberg's in the middle at the moment. Zach Taylor, Billy Dowling. Can they generate something, get it going forward? Can they mount a little bit of momentum to get them surging into the last quarter? As it's something they really need, because North have just been so prolific, particularly their on-ball brigade today. The big three who are in there at the moment, Mays, Coombe and Wigg, they've been sensational for North Adelaide.
One thing Adelaide hasn't done is get consecutive goals at any stage today. So the gauntlet well and truly thrown down. Strawn just takes it out of the air and torpedoes it up towards about 40 out from goal. Frengel wasn't able to quite work it through. Spina stayed down. Sent it back in towards the Frengel direction. Kick was just worked away there from Daniele. Ball's in dispute at the top of the Adelaide 50. Daniele, is there going to be a free? It's going to go to North Adelaide, rightly so. Fellows being held without it. Goes sideways. Now to O'Loughlin. He's had a good game today. Again towards that centre wing, outer side. Going on hands and knees there is Mays. He's trying to indicate he's working it forward. Coombe arrives as the cavalry. Fellows, Wigg, 3 of the big 4 working in there, and one of the next generation of the coming out as well was Fellows. Tap down. Now comes it towards Dykstra, who just pokes it inboard into Lockyer Jr. Oh, gee, this man, his confidence is sky high at the moment. Jack, you can tell every time he attacks that contest, he has just decided he's going to bring that to ground.
I know we touched on it earlier, but he's just that deceptively a little bit taller. He's got a really nice spring on him. He's got some strong hands, as we saw with that contested mark on the half-forward flank earlier in the match. He just looks so potent when he's coming out on the lead, Lockyer Jr.
You'd back him to finish this one just about every day of the week. Good thing I'm not a punting man. 10 goals, 8-68. It's back to a 34-point margin. They are exactly double Adelaide's score of 5-4-34. So Adelaide, again, bringing it quickly back in from the kick-in, but there's just really nothing moving for the moment. They're forced to go out to contested situations. Imagine winning that one there against Finlay. Did he? No, it must have been touched on there. The umpire coming in and calling for a throw-in. Gee, Jack Madgen, he's certainly taken the angry pills today. It's not the first confrontation he's been involved in. Throw in, Stephen Tahana going into lending some support.
Maybe reflective of playing forward at the moment. With Adelaide, just the way they've been moving the ball, it has been frustrating at times for their key forwards. They're always battling against multiple North Adelaide opposition.
Yeah, no question about that. Hoy just worked it forward to advantage. Adelaide, no, certainly taken high there was Taylor. No argument about that one. Bit untidy from Grubb. So Taylor thinking about going back in towards the defensive half, and he really hasn't got too much choice but to do so. In all sorts of space out there is Bond, but this is where they've started to break down as he works it forward now to Clifford, but they're still inside the defensive 50 and they're still trailing at the moment by 33 points. Working it forward, knocked out of the hands there, well done by Lachlan over Murray, throw in. Gallagher, I should say.
Definitely be a frustration, I think, in the Adelaide coaches' box that a number of times they did so well there, Taylor, I think, to transition the ball to Bond, but I'd love to see Bond in that moment take the game on, accelerate and drive it down. He had Curtin one-on-one against O'Loughlin. They're slow, they're stagnant, a missed kick there, and it ends up being a contest now on the wing.
North Adelaide are just doing the blue-collar stuff a bit better at the moment. The 1%ers, those little things which lock the ball as it goes over the boundary line. Adelaide at the moment, just in those blue-collar elements, are being outworked.
It's a great point, Chris, because at the moment the tackle count is 41-28 in North Adelaide's favour. Even though they're dominating on the scoreboard, they're winning it, they're first to it, they're hunting, they're really putting that pressure on.
Strawn, tap straight into Wisman. Ball's in dispute. Grubb trying to work it forward. Minovini spun out of one tackle, he spun into the second, that's holding the ball. So Adelaide winning a clearance here. Edwards is going to have to go back to the man who received the free in Gallagher. So Gallagher Sends Adelaide up towards the top of the 50. Free's going to be picked out. It's going to be a blocking free. No real opportunity down there for Murray. Now, he's got a raking foot on him. I reckon in this situation, he just about needs to own it himself and have a ping. You're 34 down. Here is a key forward. You might as well go back and back yourself.
Could agree with you there as he puts the mouth guard into the sock. He'll be kicking from about 55 metres. The man on the mark standing right on the paint, but as you said, he's a very nice kick. He's a long kick as well, Chris, so this is well within his range.
Absolutely no wind here to speak of. This is just going to be a pure exhibition of skill. He leans back on that, and that is just drifting away at the last moment for a minus score. So it's back to that 33-point margin now for North Adelaide as we tick over towards 24 minutes. Out of the back half now, Magor just works it forward towards Ramsey, who's plying his trade in defence at present. Ramsey works it out towards for big fly. Wasn't able to quite bring it to ground down there was Finlay, but he's done most other things very well today. Fellows down. He's looking down there for Reikstra. Curtin. His influence has been somewhat subdued in this second half. Wisman. Fellows. Gee, I liked his game today. Brings it inboard. Now Mays. Over the top there, having a long, deep ping from in the pocket. What a wonderful finish by Ripstra. Oh, you love seeing that from when the young men just come in and make their statement early in league football. That is his first for the day, the second in his league career. 11 goals, 8, 74. It's back out to a 39-point margin, North Adelaide's way, 5-5-35.
How nice a finish is that in your second game by Ripstra. Perfect. Down there at the farmer end on that farmer side. North Adelaide have loved that one today. Finlay had that beautiful set shot from before out on that far side, and Ripstra, delicious finish there, just getting it, a very tough angle, able to work it through, but North Adelaide once again coming out of their back half from a kick in there, just moving the ball, cutting Adelaide up with their foot skill at the moment, hitting up the leading players, and then Ripstra with a very nice finish for a tough angle. They've just shown so much today, North Adelaide. It's hard to believe they dropped the first two games of the year like they did. That rebound last week against Sturt, and they're really showing their wares today in what's been a really comprehensive contest at the moment.
North have kicked 10 of their 11 goals to that end of the ground too. As working away from the stoppage there is Taylor. Comes out now towards Schoenberg, who sends them in towards the attack. I did hear a whistle go back, and it is going to go back to Strawn. It was just before the disposal, so it needs to come back. I'd be disappointed with that, Adelaide. They had an opportunity to have a relatively unimpeded forward 50 entry. Schoenberg calling for it. He's been turned away. Oh, he just pokes in towards the pocket. Bobbing up there was Billy Dowling. Now he's on his range at the moment. 2 goals, 2 for the season for Dowling. Number 4 in the league for possessions coming in today, averaging 28 disposals.
Had commented on that consistency, Chris, but having a look, he's only had the 9 touches so far, and he's been well down. I think Adelaide's mids have been comprehensively beaten, though, inside by Coombe, Mays and Wigg. They've been really stellar today in the midfield. West
by 35 at Richmond at the moment. Central's by 28 at Elizabeth. And Dowling, that is going a long way out of bounds on the full. So North Adelaide maintain their 39-point margin here at Prospect. Chris Kendall and Jack Hanneth here for SANFL now. Round 4, host plus SANFL league action. It's set up perfectly here for Finlay to go for the fly. Great mark. No, wasn't able to quite bring it to ground. Oh, unkind umpire, I reckon there. Taylor just trying to work it back. There's plenty of numbers for both teams in the square. Falconed off one of the North Adelaide defenders. Minavini. It's going to be a free and advantage. It's going to come down towards Lockyer as Finlay's just coming to the bench after that fly. It's going to go back to O'Loughlin. Just want to be a bit cautious here, North Adelaide. They've had a couple of players come to the bench with leg injuries in the last 15 minutes or thereabouts. Just wouldn't want to be too down on personnel for next week. Frengel deep in defence. So Frengel saw something he liked out there with Hoy and Strawn. Punch coming in over the top from Ryan. They fall the ball there initially was Ryan. Was he taken high? Yes. Don't too much doubt about that one, I don't think.
Surgeon standing close enough. I thought he was going to get the handball as well. He's right down there in amongst the action on the boundary line.
You can see Surgeon's feet almost getting itchy from here when it comes that close. Now up and towards the hot spot. Punch comes in from Minavini over the top. Adelaide just under desperate pressure there at the moment. Curtin spun his way out of one tackle, put it back in towards Dowling, who was in a pressure situation, works it forward. Strawn found an inch of space. And Lockie Grubb just going down behind the play there as well. Might just be a bit of a stinger. And Strawn will be lining up for somewhat rare trip in front of the big sticks. Kicks a goal just less than one every 2 matches.
Love the presence of mind there from Dowling, though, to find Strawn. He was in amongst pressure, had a number of people around him. As we said, he's probably been down on his usual output today, but was able to find Strawn just inside the 50 on his own with a very gettable opportunity here.
Just to bring the margin back to 33 points at three-quarter time. Leans back on the kick, leans back on it way too much as it slips through for a minus score. So it is a 38-point margin here at three-quarter time. North Adelaide 11-8-74, leading Adelaide 5-6-36. The goal kickers for North Adelaide, 3 apiece to Harvey and Lockyer, 2 to Finlay.
Bring your season along, really, here at round 4.
Let's see what transpires in this final term. Adelaide is kicking to the scoring end. It has been left of screen all day at the farmer end. There is no wind to speak of. It's just been one of those things, ball up. And so far, North kicked 10 of their 11 goals to that end. And Adelaide have kicked 2 of their 5 to that end. Strawn, comprehensive tap down. Mays works it away at the stoppage. Ryan leading in the race for the ball against Ripstra. Twists and turns on a threepenny bit. Brings it back inboard by hand towards Strawn. They're just flicking it around by hand at the moment, Adelaide. Over the top there, Clifford. Works to the back there from Jay Boyle, who brings it inboard towards Edwards, attacking via reverse numericals. Jay Boyle, he's searching out there for Taylor by hand. He sends Adelaide up in towards the attacking zone. Smithson, strong mark over the top from Murray, though. Do you like the way this young lad really attacks the ball hard? And he'll be lining up for his second of the contest.
201 centimetres. Chris, you always love seeing when they jump, run, jump, accelerate, get those hands up at the footy. He's going to be so hard to stop. Murray, we've seen he's taken a couple nice grabs today, but a clear message to find. It's almost a carbon copy of what they did in the second term as well, Adelaide. You can just see that willing to give the handball now, willing to take the game on. They're trying to put speed on the ball, and it really catches North Adelaide out here. Gives them an early shot here, right, really 2 minutes into this fourth term.
1-1 so far, so we'll break the deadlock either way. 30 out, works it back, and it gets that through to be Adelaide's second multiple goal scorer of this contest. 6-6-42. Adelaide, North Adelaide are 11-8-74. Who supports community footy in SA? Amy does, with Murray second.
Great finish by Murray there as well. As we know, he's kicked 2-2 today, as you just said, Chris, and I really like it when he's run, when he's jumped at the footy, got those arms up. He's been hard to defend, but I like the start there from Strawn as well. He got his hand on it early. He was involved in a couple of contests, and just the real presence of mind from Adelaide. You can see now, hopefully not too little too late for Adelaide fans, but they're trying to get some speed. They're trying to energise the ball. They want to get it. They want to try and sap the momentum that North Adelaide has had for so much of this contest.
So back in the centre, umpire throwing it up here. Hoy tapped down in towards the maze path. Wasn't able to quite get his hands on it. Fellows going in back in there to create a contest with Dowling at the bottom of the pack. Ball up. So, not a bad crowd here for a North and Adelaide game. Hoy up towards centre half forward. Curtin trying to work back. Elbro just rolling the eyes behind the umpire's back. And Solomon clearly on the binoculars. So it's going to go to Elbro. Well, I think even Elbro was perplexed by that one. Anyway.
The roll of the eyes was justified there, CK.
Indeed it was, as he spots up Lockyer Jr. there in the pocket. That was just really interesting. I had the binoculars on, he distinctively just made that gesture, and then he gets the free back. So perhaps we've just seen an umpire change his mind for the first time. Either way, Lockyer Jr. lighting up for his fourth.
I think some of the Adelaide fans, I think he did point in the wrong, the other direction as well, the umpire, which some of the Adelaide backs have got off, and Lockyer Jr. found himself a free man in the 50.
Oh, he sends a interesting sort of trajectory in towards the behind line. So it's back out to 33 points now for North Adelaide, as Dowling receives it from the kick in under a reasonable degree of pressure. Dowling, he's got Butts calling for it down the line. Butts has been solid without being spectacular. Inboard by hand, Bond, Curtin, just needs to step his way around the Coombe issue and does so. Breaks the arms free and identifies Butts as the exit option. Since Adelaide up and towards the top of the 50. Minavini. Oh, he worked his way straight in towards the Smithson tackle. Was there prior opportunity? No, the unkindness of umpires wouldn't pay that, although Jack Major's having a try at talking them into it. Strawn. Taps straight into Magin's path. Works his way forward. Is it going to be a hand on it from Hilda? I don't reckon there was, but it's still in play. That's still in play. I reckon Burgess has got the goal. Well, it's a strange old finish down there for Adelaide, but either way, they have got their 7th goal on the board. 7-6-48 Adelaide. North Adelaide 11-9-75. 27-point margin, but we saw Adelaide finish with a flurry against Glenelg last week, albeit when the game was over.
I feel like I'm having deja vu. I saw this exact same thing happen last week with this start. It started slow, but Adelaide were able to just capitalise on a couple of opportunities there. Strawn, very nice palm down to Magin. Looked like it was going to bounce in. Bounced on its end, but it ended up in Burgess's hands, and a very good finish by him for his 3rd of the day as well. And Adelaide, they're just generating something. They've really silenced the crowd as well. You can tell when they kick a major because there is deathly silent out here, but North fans a little bit frustrated, I think, with the start of this 4th term.
Adelaide just starting to get a sniff at the moment. Still plenty of juice to be played out in this contest on SANFL now. Strawn, decisive tap down into the path there of Dowling, who walks straight into the Mays tackle. Ryan cruising past the receive. His outside run's been good today. Takes a bounce. Takes a second. Pierces them in towards the 25 arc. Trying to work it forward there was Smithson. Has been wrapped up in a tackle. Oh, free's been paid there to him too. Umpire said he was taken high. So this starts to make things real interesting. On the Prospect grandstand, starting to shuffle in their seats.
Feels like it can be obvious and a simple thing to say at times, but how much more penetrating have Adelaide looked when they've gone quick? As you said, Ryan in the flashy orange boots, just coming off the half-back line, running through multiple options, and you give your forwards a chance one-on-one, and then sometimes create a bit of your own luck. You get a push in the back, you win yourself a free kick. Very gettable one here for Smithson.
He's goaled in his last 5 matches. Make that his last 6. They are making a run here, Adelaide, at the moment. 8-6-54, North Adelaide 11-9-75. And an Adelaide team that has looked very stagnant all day, very much on the back foot, not doing the blue colour stuff. All of a sudden, they're taking their chances.
It's incredible, isn't it, sometimes when it's almost like you've just seen a switch get flicked and they just look like a completely different team to what we've seen for a majority. We did see this a little bit at the start of the 2nd term, but they're really showing it in waves here at the moment. Strawn's been getting his hand to it. They're then they're playing quick, they're playing on instinct, and I think when you do that, it doesn't matter how good your defence is for the opposition. When you're getting it in quick to one-on-ones with your forwards, you just give them an opportunity and you never know what can create from it.
So back in the centre, the centre clearance suddenly becomes critical. Jay Boyle wins it away for Adelaide. Sends him up and towards the attacking zone. North Adelaide players flew at the same time. Frengle just got the arms free. Ball's in dispute. 40 out from the Adelaide goal. Jay Boyle on the top of the pack. Umpires circling, but no, not paying that one, and rightly so. Out at Elizabeth. Woodville West Torrens making a late surge, but they're still 15 points in arrears. West Adelaide are going to end up nearly 10 goal winners over South Adelaide. Jay Boyle sends them up and towards the zones. Great mark, Frengle. Fantastic stuff. Particularly from a young man who's in his 10th game.
Super mark there, CK. I feel like North might be feeling some of what we are up here as well, as I see Harvey's actually gone into the ruck now against Strawn. He's been really dominant at the start of this 4th term, getting the experienced Harvey in, the bigger, stronger matchup to try and even this out, get North Adelaide back into this contest in the 4th.
And they're just taking a little bit of tempo out of the game at the moment, North Adelaide. Just working it forward carefully with the experienced heads. Spina, Wig, Coombe. We're just prepared to take some pace out of the game. Spina thought about going back in board, didn't like what he saw. So worked it down the lines now towards Wig. Oh, he's coughed that one straight up towards Schoenberg. Boyle, Jay, just pokes it in now towards Murphy, who unloads from outside 50. They need a punch in here and they get it from Van Husted. Minor score. 8-7-55. It's 20-point margin now North Adelaide's way, but they are under siege at the moment. As North to bring it back into play. Centrals have won by 15 points out there at the Elizabeth Oval. Now North just bringing it out of this back half. Harvey, as Jack Hanneth mentioned, has gone into the ruck now. Calling teammates to come to him. He's got Elbro working a little bit of space out there. He's got Hoy out there in a one-on-one that he likes, but he set it up more for Butts. Hoy has got the hand in there, however. They're trying to work it now through Ripstra. Twisting, turning, needs something to present. It's going to be a one-on-one contest here with Grubb. Does he keep his feet? Does he soccer it through? No, the physics of football beats him. 21-point margin. Well, this game has got so many more twists and turns than you think. North bring it back from the... Adelaide bring it back from the kick in, I should say. Edwards. And now crosses back towards Ryan. He's got Bond calling for it short. North leading by 21 points. You sense they need a goal just to settle at the moment. Adelaide are really throwing caution to the lack of wind. Ramsey, it's set up for him to drift through. Wasn't able to quite do so. Burgess picked it away. Schoenberg. Now it's going to be a 2-on-2 contest. Frengel leading in the race for the ball. Works his way to the situation. Steps around. Gets the willing support now from Magor, who just twists and turns up and towards the Harrison Wigg direction. So Harrison Wigg taking it at centre-half forward. Sam Mays has just come off the bench. He's going to need the benefit of a shepherd from Minavini, but the hand comes in over the top to knock it over there by Curtin.
I've loved Curtin's game today, Chris. I reckon he's been super, and we just see there, does enough. We know how tight it can be on the forward-facing free kick. He came back with the flight, just did enough to get his hand on the footy, didn't impede. Wins a stoppage here for Adelaide on the wing.
So throw in. Strawn tap down. Elbro trying to work through. Free kick's been picked. That's going to be kicking in danger. Interesting. Schoenberg takes the free. And he's looking up down there for Murphy to drift through. Back of the pack, Spina just sends it back from whence it came. It's not completely out of a danger zone, however, particularly when Kieran Strawn's down there. Now about 75 out from goal. Adelaide puts a low burning pass in towards the pocket. And Madgen will turn around. Now he's got no breeze at all. 50 out, he's on his range. And he's yet to goal today.
Like if his pass attempts are any indication, I'd be very nervous if I was North Adelaide protecting that drop zone just over the top of the man on the mark. I feel like he could shape this one up to the top.
Comes in, does exactly that. Plenty flying for it for both teams. Edwards, he's been wrapped up by Wigg, ball up.
Chris, I'd love to say that was intentional, but I feel like that was more the shot on goal there than the shape up, but it worked out either way.
No, I love your prediction skills, Nostradamus. Oh, tap straight into the path there. Free kick, is that going to be holding the ball? Yes, it is. Had prior opportunity to Daniele. Man who does know this ground reasonably well, having played some junior football here. Wiggs sideways. Blaine O'Loughlin. Just chips forward, Ramsey. Cuts inboard to Fellows. Just overshot him slightly. Wisman arrived as the cavalry. Now it's with Zeckley with a bit of time and space in the move, but there's nothing in the forward 50 for him at the moment. This is going to be precision of Grubb, and it is. Got to wait for something to break back in there. Lockyer Jr.'s on the move. He's seen him too. Just needs to work his way around the Bond issue. Running backwards with the flight there. Tap to advantage. Lockyer not able to quite get his arms on it. They come out of the back half now through to Hana Adelaide. Murphy. Now he's got to play a breaking into space out there on the outer side, and Davis has got plenty of time and space in which to move. Moves it up down the line to the feet there of Curtin. Soccering it forward now is Ramsey. He's just trying to shovel it forward. It's a long way down for the big fella to bend. Needs some support. Gets it now from Grubb. Now it's Frengel. Now the outside finisher in Wigg just deposits it down the line. Spina's working down. Coon calling for it at the top of the 50. It's going to end up now with McInerney. Oh, he's not over the boundary line for a throw in. Had it spent before he had it. 13 gone. This next 3 or 4 minutes becomes critical for both teams, Jack.
A reflection of Adelaide's day there. Murphy did so well, worked it out to Davis, and Davis just unable to connect there with Curtin, who they know, I think they see him as a match winner now for Adelaide. They've swung him down, back up forward. They want him as their key presence going down there.
Tap down. Off to get the centre clearance. It's going up and towards the Lockyer Junior direction. That's a great mark from Bond. Bond looking to work it out of the back half now towards Clifford. Only options in front of him. Hasn't got a sideways uncontested exit, so he has to keep it on that outer side. Slipping through a range of fingers. Now it arrives with Schoenberg, who takes a bounce. Got a bit of time and space to take a second. Can take a third if he wants it. Can almost take a fourth, but he loops it over the top now by hand. Curtin, deep in the pocket, steps around his opponent. Snaps on goal, and that's going to be drifting across for a minor score. 8-56. It's back to a 20-point margin. Adelaide surging, but just not getting major scoreboard influence in doing so.
I love that move of Curtin forward. He's looked one of the more prolific players for Adelaide today. He's been super down back, intercepting hands on now, gets his chance to maybe win it for them going forward.
O'Loughlin took a bounce, worked it forward looking for Zeckley. It's going to be at his feet, unfortunately. He just needs to try and trap it to the advantage of his teammates. Fellows just working it forward now by hand. Now they've got the turnover in the centre here, do North Adelaide. Mays, club. Cruising past up in towards the Lockyer Junior direction. Punch comes down. McInerney's at the fall of the ball. He's got a little bit of time and space in which to navigate his way through the situation. They spot up towards Mays. Fellows is breaking into space. He hasn't seen him yet. He's still in space. He's still in space. He's now working out towards there. Just needs to be well way to kick, and it is. Deary me. Almost felt like a coach myself calling it for that 20 seconds. You could see in there, the whole ground could see in there. Fortunately, Sonny Mays did eventually too.
Imploring him to go there, imploring him to look there. He'd parked up. Fellows had been there. I'm unsure how some of the Adelaide, they just need to call someone back there, work across to him. But really, a circuit breaker here for North Adelaide. That gives them a chance here to breathe a sigh of relief. They really need Fellows to kick this one because all momentum at the moment is with Adelaide in this fourth term. They've really turned it on. They're bringing the pressure, they're bringing the heat. Cut the margin back to 20 points. North Adelaide need this here to steady their ship.
Looking for his first SANFL goal. Oh, for he's a jolly good Fellows. I reckon that just about shuts the door on Adelaide now. 26-point margin. Fellows first. They are 12-10, 82. Adelaide 8-8, 56.
They come from everywhere, the North players, and rightfully so. What a great time to kick your first goal. As we said, Adelaide, they've had all the momentum. They've been bringing the pressure. They cut the margin to 20 points. Fellows, he was in a world of space. He had time. He was there on his own. Mays eventually found him. A great finish as well, given the circumstances. Later into this match, pressure had been on North Adelaide for all this fourth term. Super work there by Fellows. He's played very well today.
West Adelaide have won by 67 points at Hisense Stadium. And Central District by 15 at Ex-Convenience Oval. 26-point margin here to Adelaide, to North Adelaide. There's probably still about 10 minutes to go, but Adelaide really need a goal in the next couple of minutes to keep themselves with a sniff of it, as Black Betty bursts over the speakers. Was by Ram Jam in 1977, by Spiderbait this version. I might go and Spicks and Specs one day. Be more useful than it is here on SANFL now. Anyway, back in the centre. Decisive tap forward into the lap there of Mays, who wins the centre clearance now for North Adelaide. Tumbles it forward. That's a strong mark again. Taken down there to Hana. He's had some good moments today. Goes sideways towards the outer side. Curtin, Schoenberg. Looking to use his pace. Chips it further forward. He was looking for Burgess. It was speculative at best. It'll be a Fringle trying to work it forward. Adelaide just managing to keep it in. Ball's in dispute. Back in board. Clifford just sends Adelaide forward. Bounce eludes just about everybody. But working out of the back half there, Hilda just massages the ball forward. Ball just needs to sit up. Mabel's got a little bit of time and space in which to work. That's going to have to be a push every day of the week. Untidy there by Butts. Mitch Harvey. Now Mitch Harvey's got a one-on-one down there in the 50. It's Ryan and Grubb. North can just take 30 to 45 seconds out of the contest. They had to be precise in doing so, though, and they showed a fair bit of it to Butts. Over the top by hand to Edwards. Takes a bounce. Takes a second. Puts on the afterburners. Now it's up with Dan Curtin, who links it over the top by hand. He's going to get it back in a 1-2. 30 metres out, just works it back. That's a goal that Dan Curtin has deserved all day. He has worked tirelessly. Finally freed up from the key defensive position. We're seeing what he is capable of for Adelaide. 9-8-62, North Adelaide 12-10-82.
Pick 8 in last year's AFL draft. Obviously really big raps on him coming over from WA. The Claremont boy played league football in his draft year as well. Had a really good champs at the Nationals and really showing his wares today. As I said last week, he played on Liam McBean. Really outpointed. McBean kicked 5 goals. He's been significant down back for Adelaide today. And just showing his versatility, as you called so well, Chris. He's swung forward, Great finish by him there, linking up with the hands inside 50. He's been one of Adelaide's better, if not their best player today.
Yeah, you've got to say that he's destined for higher things than here. He's just such a clean and calm ball user when he gets that time and space in which to work it in. Back in the centre, 20-point margin. We're on the edge of time on. Another goal in the next couple of minutes to Adelaide makes things awfully interesting. Hoy just thumped it forward down towards Mays. He's done that a few times today. Ball's in dispute at centre-half forward now for North Adelaide. Curtin working at the other end of the ground. Broke the arms free. Schoenberg was the option. North Adelaide just needed to get numbers back. Lachlan arrives as the cavalry. Just works it forward. That was a clever kick on the outside there. He saw that Ripstra had worked his way free. Now Ripstra going up and towards the 25. Punch comes down. Tahana's working backwards with the ball. McInerney in there trying to lend some support. Ryan, just for the exit strategy, takes a bounce, needs to work free. Was able to get the hands free just in time. Taylor out towards Tahana. They've allowed Lockyer Jr. into the contest. You can't do that too often. Harry Boyle, was he caught holding the ball? Umpire disagrees. Certainly no real prior opportunity there. So throw in. Top of the North Adelaide 50. Ruck's ready to go at it again. Strawn and Hoy. This has been a really entertaining battle all day between these two. Throw in. Tap down. Mays is trying to work it forward. Ball still in dispute. 40 out from the North Adelaide goal. These are the sort of situations that Frank Zeckerley just cruises past, gets it out of the air and finishes with a goal. And he is lurking with intent at the fall of the ball too. Harvey, over the top by hand, in towards a disputed situation. Adelaide's defence is under siege at the moment. Tahana, it's going to come back in. They've opened the door now for Ripstra. Is it going to bounce through his way? No, minor score. 21-point margin, however, as we tick over towards 21 minutes. Zeckerley, now he's been shown the ball. Coombe, he's got a few options queuing up for him. Oh, that's great work by Ryan, though. 2-on-1. Just needed to pull that kick a little bit.
He's had a great last term. Chris, he plays with fire here in the back line, but Ryan, he's been really good for Adelaide down in defence. Their defence has been solid in this fourth term.
Sure has. O'Leary. Zeckerley closed down upon him and possibly affected the kick. Minovini getting the hand in over the top. Magor just sticking the mitts out. They've got the cavalry now, North Adelaide. Lachlan likes what he sees back in the back half, and it's the ever-reliable skipper. And Spina works forward now towards Wigg. He's been influential again today. Harrison Magor. So the two Harrisons work in amongst themselves. Zeckerley just forming a loose here to create a further option. They're going to go down towards the Strawn and Harvey direction. Hoy's in there also. Tap down. Coombe worked his way free. Now comes out towards Ripstra, who pulls the kick. Oh, not quite far enough. Showed Tahana a fair bit of it. A lot his last term too. Now he's sideways towards Curtin. Agree with Jack Hannah, Adelaide's best for mine. Yeah. Just still trying their options at the moment, Adelaide, but they're not getting scoreboard pressure for it. Dowling, 22 gone. Work out towards that outer side. Curtin's just worked down again. Wheels into towards the centre of Prospect Oval. Taylor's found an inch of space where there wasn't too much. Now he runs forward. Jay Boyle takes a bounce. 450 out and puts it up and towards the square. That's a great mark from Burgess again. Gee, he just keeps presenting and presenting all day, this man.
What a good decision there by Jay Boyle. I thought he was going to pin his ears back and maybe have a shot from the top of 50. He had the bounce, but really composed, really good decision. Found Burgess, who, as you said, Chris, he's been so good up forward for the Crows.
And he lines up and kicks his at fourth to be the leading goal scorer on the ground. 23 gone. About 10-8-68 to North Adelaide. 12-11-83. It's a 15-point margin. It is remarkable how much scoring has been done at that end of the ground today.
It has been the scoring end, but I think Adelaide, in their review, when they're looking at this game next week, I just think the big one for them will be the what if. Yes. Really, this last term, it's just showing how effective they can be when they move the ball quickly, when they use some of the run and carry. Ryan's been great. Tahana's been really solid down back as well, but they've really carried. Schoenberg, I feel like, has taken the game more on in this fourth term. And when you get the one-on-ones, when you get the likes of Murray, 201 centimetres, Burgess, he's got the vice-like hands today. Just gives them so much opportunity. They just probably haven't had it enough for the previous 3 quarters.
So back in the centre, 23 gone. We've had 6 goals kicked in this term, so there's a bit of juice left in it yet. Mays, Taylor, navigated his way through. Dowling, loops it over the top by hand. He's searching for Edwards. Just overran that slightly. Taylor goes back in there a second time. North Adelaide happy to lock it down for a contested situation. 24 gone. Plenty around the ball now for both teams. Tap forward. Magor. Does he break the arms free? He does. O'Loughlin was the willing cavalry. Spina. Frengel. This kick's going to have to be precise. Setting it up there for Bond to take the mark. Not quite able to bring it to ground. Strawn lending some support. Umpire circling. You're not going to get hold of the ball on that one. But the prospect grandstand of it, I was wondering. Strawn just takes it out of the air. Hurries it forward. That's not 15. Balls still in dispute. Nearly 25 gone. Signs are starting to go up for both teams. Showing how many minutes and seconds there are. Mays. Fellows. Are we trying to see this over the boundary line? You would think North Adelaide. Bond. Handball's a little bit too hot there for O'Leary. Arms have just come free. O'Leary goes back in there a second time. Grubb tumbles it forward. Back in towards the corridor now. Harvey trying to poke it forward. Wisman, his feet taken from under him. I think even here Bond knows that one as he ruefully looks forward at the umpire. A goal here absolutely shuts the door on Adelaide. Wisman works in towards the pocket. Oh, it's a little bit heavy there for Ramsey. Come backing board, Clifford. Strawn. Now they've got the option breaking through the centre of Prospect Oval. O'Loughlin. Spina arrives as the cavalry. Wig. He's just going to look up, can see that it's time to take time out of the contest, so to speak. Goes backwards. Now it's towards Magor. Now they're just going to play a bit of working the clock down. Minavini. O'Loughlin's the next option. And further out towards the line there is Frengel. It's almost as if they've got an ear on the SANFL Now broadcast. Good to see we've got some listeners out there. Either way, North Adelaide have taken 30 seconds out of the contest. And they are working it still on that outer side. Up there for Van Husted. Boundary line wins out. Reid Van Husted wouldn't win you too many games as Supercoach, but win you plenty of games of real football. He's just such a dour defender. Love the way he goes about it.
Even though it's still a 15-point buffer, CK, you can feel almost a nervous tension here in the grandstand. They really got themselves back into this contest. I think it's probably going to be a bridge too far as the minute sign is up down there on the bench, but they've been great in this 4th term.
Sure have. Now comes out Mays. Gee, he's been influential. Fellows, his game's grown as it's gone on too. Aiming to centre the ball. That's going to be a free. Is that down the ground? Yes, it is going to be down the ground because it was after disposal. Now, is it going to be Keenan Ramsey will take the free, or Mitch Harvey?
I think against Keenan Ramsey, but if you're North Adelaide fans, I think you want Mitch Harvey taking this one. He's been deadly accurate today and throughout the season, as you've said a number of times, Chris, and he is going to have this shot on goal here.
Yet to kicker behind this season, Mitch Harvey, but he's found the big sticks 11 times. If this one goes through, you'll hear this at Collinswood. That'll make the ABC News a lot easier. Up through for a minor score. 12-12, 84. It's a 16-point margin. Time is going to be Adelaide. Adelaide up by 16 points. Oh, great work from Grubby. He was just able to corral the option. Curtin steps around the wig option. As the siren sounds, North Adelaide withstood a strong challenge from the Adelaide Football Club in that last term, but do emerge with the points by 16 points. 10-8, 68 Adelaide. North Adelaide 12-12, 84.
We're gone.